We live.
Why we look so choppy?
If you look at it online, it probably won't be like that. If you're
Oh,
looking
okay.
at this, if you're looking at the link, it's gonna be choppy.
Yeah. Okay. Is it on the screen yet? Live yet?
Yes, sir. We live. I'm looking at it on my phone. We got one in the chat. Hoovy, y'all just hopped in.
Yeah, I can't see it.
It may be a delay.
Last thing I see is emo.
Oh, it's live right now. I'm looking right at it, Daniel.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
else
I'm
can
looking
y'all
at
Shabbat
it
see?
too.
shalom, Sister Karen.
I'm looking at it too.
Last thing I
Is
see is
that
emo.
Sister Karen out here?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's live. I'm looking right at it, Daniel.
Huh?
I'll
Somebody
send it
Send
to
it
you,
to
backfeed.
me.
sis.
Somebody backfeed.
That's me. That's me. I got Sister Karen on the phone right here. Uh,
Oh,
we live right now, sis. I'll
I
send you the
sent
link.
her that to try to help her get on, but I don't see the live either. Last thing I
I
see
see
is
it.
emo.
I'm looking right at
I'm
it.
on it. I'm on it.
Yeah,
Zed
Shalom.
right here
Yeah,
with me.
yeah.
Okay, let me go to live.
Who y'all? Sister Poor, Uzziah. Yeah, it's
Yep.
Okay,
on.
hold on. I guess if I click on that, tell her to click on that on the banner where it say live. I guess you'll get it then.
I'm finna send her the link.
Yeah, yeah, I'm on it, y'all.
All praise.
Uzziah. Yeah,
Yep.
it's on.
Okay, hold on. I guess if I click on that, tell her to click on that on the banner where
Oh
it
yeah,
say
somebody
live.
feeding back all the
Somebody
ways.
backfeed.
Now that ain't me right there.
That might be Daniel Solomon.
No, that was me on that delay telling
Yeah.
telling somebody to tell Sister Karen just to when you on the toolbar, it'll say play, view, but she got to click on that button to say live up there.
Right. But yeah, we live, y'all. We all good. Everybody in the chat
Hold on,
saying shalom.
hold on a second, y'all. Did I click off again?
No, you. I hear
No,
you.
you
Oh,
still
You
Again,
there?
right
but now
there.
you back.
hold on, y'all. Hold on one second.
I'm looking right at you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm on. I'm just.
I'm looking at you on my phone and my computer.
Yeah, yeah, I'm good. I know I'm good. You got it. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay,
And make
y'all.
sure
How we
everybody
looking, y'all?
phone
We
down.
ready?
Yes, sir.
We ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's get it going. Who got it?
All right, y'all ready to get this opening prayer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Okay.
All right, family. We're gonna get this opening prayer, and it is with the Most High's permission, and it's in the name of His only begotten of its Son, Lord and Savior. And He's our Redeemer. It's Yahushua Hamashiach, but we know Him as Jesus the Christ. Family, long live the King.
Long
Long
live the
live the
king.
king.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the second chapter, it reads, "Why do the heathens rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Most High and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh.
Mm.
The Most High shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill in Zion. I will declare the decree. The Most High has said unto me, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Most High with fear. Serve the Most High with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Selah! Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Excellent.
Shabbat shalom, family.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to the worldwide family, y'all. Peaceful Sabbath, y'all. As we get about our Abba's business. Make sure this going. As we get about our Abba's business, y'all. Today's lesson: a letter humbly requesting understanding. So what we got, y'all, is a letter from a believer who's trying to ensure that her beliefs are correct. And this letter pretty much will probably answer 1,000 people online questions, that they may have, because y'all, we're in a lot of times, and there's a lot of false doctrine going around. So once again, today's lesson title: a letter humbly requesting understanding. And as we go through our shout out list, then we'll get to the three requests uh, in that letter that needs understanding. So y'all know how we get down. First, we want to send out shouts out to our sick and shut in. And a lot of people been asking about uh, our elder Levi Raphael homegoing service. Right now, I'm waiting on his brother to give me a call back, not later than today. So at the latest, I should know tomorrow. During the radio show, uh, the times, the dates. There's been a few changes, with family members trying to get in town, and y'all know that's between the folly days. They're looking right now at December the 30th, but it will be confirmed to me later today. So I'll let everybody know if for any reason, uh, you know, uh, uh, we still a week out from what they're, setting everything in stone. But there was just a few difficulties with getting certain members here if they'll be able to make it on time with all of that airline traffic. But if not, we'll definitely get you Elder Levi's address to his home if you want to send a card or flowers, letting the family know how much we miss the brother. So, y'all, I'll get that information out to you, like I say, not later than tomorrow morning on the show, which will give us a whole week of time to get it in. Also, y'all, once again, shouts out to the entire family as we are still into our feast of dedication, uh, which will end Monday night, the 22nd at sundown. So hope everyone is having a great feast and rededicating themselves. And
That's
also
right.
today's class will help us rededicate ourselves and make sure we got correct oil in our lamps and not bootleg oil. But to our once again, I'll get the information for Levi. Also, y'all continue prayers for our brother Jeremiah here in the STL. Jeremiah usually cooks the fish for us and also take photos at every feast day. Brother Jeremiah is in the hospital up at Barnes and just
Mm,
to deal with an issue with a cyst on his back. So they're working on it, and hopefully, he said things are looking really well. Hopefully, he'll be sent home for rehab here in a couple days or so. Also, our brother Kevin Johnson is also Kevin Robinson. I'm sorry, Kevin Robinson is also in the hospital, y'all. He experiencing a lot of pain in his stomach, so they had to get him on up to the hospital to where they discovered a little bleeding that they didn't know where it was coming from. But y'all may
mm,
know brother Kevin, his wife, sister Francine, and the other family member, sister Keisha. So I'll get a little bit more information on how he's doing later today. But he was resting comfortably. They kind of had him in a partial coma, y'all, just trying to get him a
mm.
little rest because the pain was that extensive on it. So y'all are still praying for brother Kevin Robinson. Also, y'all, Big Country call. He say he's doing really well, y'all. His spirits is up high, and he just want to thank the family, y'all, for praying for him. Also, Sister
Hallelujah.
Karen, praying for you as well. The devil riding Karen like a rented mule, but she's still in the fight. So just keep praying, Sister Karen. We praying for you as well. And also to that Ak Radel out of Temple, Texas. Y'all, Radel is battling a little bit, lost his one of his favorite cousins, so to speak.
Mm.
Kind of in a situation that his life was lost that's troubling Ak Radel just a bit. So if y'all will lift that brother up in prayer.
Yes, sir.
Just send shouts out to that brother Eric Cole, that Ak Rico Yehuda, and also that sister Saraya. Shouts out to y'all. Shouts out family. Too bad we got any questions or concerns before we get started.
No, sir. We good to go.
Okay, today's lesson: a letter humbly requesting understanding. And what the letter was asking is, I'm gonna read it to the family so we can understand the topics that we'll be going over today. Um, and it reads as follows. I humbly ask these questions. First question is, did Satan slash the serpent have physical sex with Eve? And is Cain the biological son of Satan? That's the first one. The second one, are we going back as Hebrews to get on the ships of Tarshish and go back to the land of Jerusalem to clean up dead bodies? And we're going to live there. And the third is they gave scriptures, Deuteronomy 28:68, Ezekiel 20:34 through 36, Isaiah 11:11 and 12. And also they want to have explained Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 13 and 14, which we'll get to. So y'all, we'll take them one at a time. And sometimes, y'all, we do this to ensure that we get some things understood, because a lot of times things linger in your mind and you have doubts about certain things, about things you may hear, uh, or think what you see in the Bible. You're saying, I'm just still not clear. I hear what they saying, but I'm just still not clear. So what we do is we always say, when in doubt, do without. And we have what we call a fail-proof system. And what that means is, if it's spiritual, it can always be proven with these scriptures. Now, some things that are spiritual and they appear to be physical may put some roadblocks in your way. So, what the first question was, is Satan Cain's biological father, which is a physical act, or was the event a spiritual act? And does one need to gird the loins of his mind or gird the loins below his waist. So we'll get to that. We'll go through a few scriptures to clear it up, and we simply let the chips fall where they may. Anybody got any questions or concerns so far, too, Bow?
No, sir. The chat is clear.
Okay, and then we'll deal with the what's called the ships of Tarshish, and because there is a great return to the homeland, what does that entail? The ships and how were they looking? What will we actually be getting on? And then the last parts of the cleanup of Jerusalem. How will it be cleaned up? And are we cleaning it up to live in that world, or is there gonna have to be a supernatural event due to nuclear bombs that's on the planet that's being released? So we'll cover all topics, both pro and con, and you weigh the odds and see which way you need to go and what you can prove, not what you can guess at
Mm-hmm.
or say, well, just think on this matter, but what you can prove because we're supposed to do what? Prove all what?
Prove
All
all
things.
things.
Yes, sir. So let's start this off in First Tim 4, and I just want to talk about what's taking place on Earth. And with the internet exploding, y'all, we're seeing things every day, y'all, that's gonna shock the mind. Not only that, y'all, but AI and GPT has taken things to a whole nother level, y'all. You may see a video and think it's real, and it's actually AI generated. That's what we are up against, the great imitator that's masquerading at the angel of light. AI will masquerade as the second coming, as the Messiah, and it's going to fool a lot of people if your head ain't on correctly and you don't go for the okey doke, y'all, because they are ramping it up, y'all. And they want to touch you with the AI, but it's doing some things, y'all, that will make you think this computer is almost human. So with that First Tim 4, if you will.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of First Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 4.
Yes, sir.
Everybody there? I guess I
Oh
really
no.
can't tell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. And it reads, neither give heed to fables
No,
and
no, where you
endless.
at?
First Timothy, chapter 1 and verse
No,
4.
chapter 4. I'm
Chapter
sorry.
4
Did I
and verse
say one?
1.
Yeah, did I say
Is that
chapter 1? My
you
bad,
just
y'all.
said First Timothy 4.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's what he said at first. I think Oriel may have heard it wrong.
Okay.
I may have heard it wrong. Leon Phelps, you over here sounding like the ladies' man. Anybody want a tuna fish sandwich? All right, all right, family. Reading in the book of First Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats, which Yahweh hath created, to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. For every creature of Yah is good, and nothing to be refused, if it be received with thanksgiving. For it is sanctified by the word of Yahweh and prayer. If thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good minister of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, nourished up in the words of faith and of good doctrine, whereunto thou hast attained. But refuse profane and old wise fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness.
Yes, sir.
That's where he got that. That's where he got that First Timothy 1 and 4 from, right there.
From where? On the paper?
Yeah, what he just read. That the second witness to it is First Timothy chapter 1 verse 4. Neither give
Okay.
heed to fables and endless
Yep, yep,
genealogies,
yep,
Yeah, yes,
which
sir.
mention
Yes,
yep.
sir.
questions
Outstanding.
rather than godly edifying, which is in faith. So do.
That's it.
So
See,
just flip it around, y'all, and you got your two witnesses right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I knew it
Yeah.
was a
So
reason I
That
run it
was
went
the
down
there.
spirit. Yeah,
again.
I'm backing you up, brother. That's what it was. It was the spirit. It was the spirit had you right there.
Run it down to verse 10, y'all.
Verse 8. For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is, and of that which is to come. This is a faithful saying and worthy of all acceptation. For therefore we both labor and suffer reproach, because we trust in the living Elohim, who is thy Savior of all men, especially of those that believe.
Hit that verse 11.
Verse 11. These things command and teach.
Yes, sir. So what we wanted to see is run that all the way out about what's happening in these last days, y'all. Technology has exploded to a whole nother level, y'all. And when we
So,
get the understanding uh, of what the questions asked and how they'll be answered, y'all, everything will be based on uh, where technology has taken us to this day. And we'll get some good understanding. But the first question, is Satan the father of Cain? So there's a pro and con side to that. So what we'll do is we'll run the con side first. They say it was a physical relation. We'll give the scriptures and then we'll give the pro side and we'll see, is it physical or is it spiritual what took place. So we'll do both sides, y'all, so that we be fair in the matter, because at one time, we both believe both physical and spiritual,
Right.
but we went with what we can prove and what we always can prove, and it'll
It's
never be
spiritual.
without a shadow of a doubt, is spiritual.
That's
The
right.
That's right.
physical part gonna put a roadblock in your path, and we want to just explain that to you so you understand that. And if you still choose to believe that side, then it will be on you to explain, but you won't be able to say we agree to disagree. That ain't
Right.
happening.
Right. And
So
one of the
y'all,
first things, let
go
me say this real quick.
go ahead, Elisha.
You have to understand the difference between the flesh and the spirit.
Yeah.
You have to first understand that everything of Elohim is spiritual first,
Yes,
that's
sir.
right.
foremost. So we
It's a
can't,
spiritual battle we in.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So what we can't do is attribute everything fleshly to Elohim, even though he made it.
Yeah.
He's not a flesh. Here's a spiritual entity which became flesh.
Yes, sir. And let
There's
me
a
say
big
this
difference.
also. Let me say this also, Elisha. When this event took place, it was in immortality. Don't
That's
forget
right.
that, people who run
That's
these.
wasn't in
That's
the
It
right.
flesh.
wasn't, sin wasn't in the world yet. So when it was introduced, they were in a light body.
Yeah, so it was all spiritual
Yes,
before
sir.
it ever became a fleshly matter.
Well, and we just want to run it because of what's being
We
taught
have to.
in these last days.
We have to because the word of Elohim covers everything flesh, spirit, free bond, Jew, Gentile, male, and female.
Yes,
So,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
so this was nothing like Genesis chapter 6, where the sons of God came down and saw the daughters of man.
Oh,
This is nothing in
well,
that nature
Well, it is,
in a
but that's
physical
going
form.
to help out too. Glad you said that because we're going to have to look at that situation as well
That's
with
right.
Mm-hmm.
supernatural mixing with flesh.
That,
Right.
that's
So, and
right
we're going to
because,
see what the outcome going to be. But
but
y'all,
see,
let's get at it. Go ahead, Elisha.
everything is consistent.
Yeah.
That's right.
Whether it's evil or whether it's righteous, there's consistency in both.
Right.
There's a pattern.
So let's get it, y'all. Genesis chapter 3. And y'all, what we're running. If it's physical to be possible, based off of uh, what is being taught and what we're reading right here. So let's go ahead and get it 1 through 6.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 3. We'll start the reading in verse 1. Let's see here. It reads, Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Most High Yah had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath Yahweh said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the
So
woman,
hold on
go ahead.
before you get going. I just wanted to say, because y'all, if we look at everything physical, y'all, we're running it straight physical. So what we're looking at, either there's a snake, a physical snake here that's talking,
Mm-hmm.
like a boa constrictor.
Right.
So if we're running physical, y'all, we have to play it all the way out physical.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yah hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For Yah doth know that in the day that you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. You want some more?
No, well, okay. So what I want you to jump down to is the punishment. Uh, Kick it up about verse 12 and run it down, because the punishments make a lot of people feel that there was a physical act in the garden. So let's just run the.
Start at 9. Start at 9.
Well, you might
We
well
should have
just
just
go
kept
rolling.
rolling.
Yeah, keep
Yeah.
rolling
Yeah,
then.
all right.
Keep
There you
reading.
go.
Verse
Yeah.
8. And they heard the voice of the Most High Yahweh walking in the garden in a cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Most High Yah amongst the trees of the garden. And the Most High Yah called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Most High Yah said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Most High Yah said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust thou shalt eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. And
You can
Adam
hold
called
her,
his. Woo,
unless y'all
boy,
want to
stop
run it,
me.
but you can hold her because what we
Yeah.
want to do is look at the physical act and everything we're reading and every punishment. The first punishment was Satan. He got punished in verse 13. And it said, what has he done? Well, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Verse,
14.
yeah. The man immediately blamed the woman. So
All
That
look
right.
that's
how
the
punished
first
all
mention.
of it. Yeah,
That's the first mention.
he punished the serpent, then he punished Eve, and then he punished Adam. So all of the crime, but what we're looking at is the punishment, the crimes of the
Mother.
punishment.
Hey, Daniel, not
Brother
to cut you off. We got a little confusion in the chat. Sister Huvia wants to know, does Feast of Dedication end sundown Sunday or sundown Monday? She said you said sundown Monday, but the next word
Yeah,
Sundown
the
Monday.
calendars.
Yeah,
22nd
sundown Monday.
is 8 days.
Okay,
It's not
Sundown
seven
Monday.
days. 7 days will be sundown tomorrow
right,
Right.
because we started on sundown
right,
last Sunday.
right.
So 7 days will be tomorrow at sundown, and then we go to the 8th day.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Okay. So
Okay,
what we're
let's go
saying,
back to it.
all three curses. So now we have to look at all three curses, and we have to, y'all, just look at this as what's being said behind this. So what's being taught is Eve had sex with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they found out they were naked. The problem is, it says she gave Adam also, and he did eat. And if eating is part of that, what part did Adam play? Was it an
If it's
orgy?
sex, right.
Was it an orgy?
Or
You
was it a
know, and
homosexual act?
yeah, or was it that? So we have to look at all of that because all of that will have to be explained if you look at it from the physical because of the punishment. But every punishment Eve got was relating to uh, being fruitful and multiply. The problem is, was it was it spiritual or
Or
was
was
it
it
physical?
physical? Right.
How she ate. So y'all, what we gonna do? We see the crimes, we see what's being taught. Now, we go to uh, all of the topics that said, okay, this is why we believe it's physical. The first is, if we will, let's go to the book of Jude, because y'all, we want to run it like how we used to believe on the physical side. Whatever they believe in, we knew that we say we're safer on the spiritual.
Right.
Even though the physical looks like it right there, it's just things that stop us in our tracks. And we
That's
had to
right.
go completely spiritual. So the first thing we go to the book of Jude, verse 7.
Start at 6.
Start at
Uh,
6,
Because
okay?
got a question too.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
Lonely Servant asks, why does the Bible summarize Adam and Eve conceiving Cain and Abel, but not their other siblings?
Well, it does, but it can't list all of them because they had 30 sons and 30 daughters. So it tells you that in the book of Jasher, also in the book of Jubilees, but it's just dealing with the line that received the light. And what we're talking about, one of a family, two of a city. So out of all those 30 sons, there was a set number that received the word that spread it to the other brothers through generations all the way up to the flood.
Right,
It was only seven.
because you have to go back to the beginning when he says, "Let's make man in our image." So the
Yeah, we're gonna
whole
come. We're gonna double back on that, Elisha, as soon as we get to
yeah,
Cain's family. We'll bring
yeah.
it in, Elisha.
So
I know exactly where you're going.
And just so you know, we still having a little confusion about the day. We got Ron Lemons in the chat saying that Monday will be 9 days.
Well, look, if you start at sundown Sunday, last Sunday, to sundown Monday is one day. See, you end where you start. So
right,
I understand what he's saying, but you still have to go through next Sunday all the way till the sun goes down for it to stop. It's like the Sabbath. The Sabbath
Mm-hmm.
starts Friday sundown
Right.
to next Friday sundown.
Sundown. Right.
You got to get 7 days. It would be the eighth. It would be 9 days if we
if
lit
we
it
went
Monday
into
night.
Tuesday, right,
Let's do it on the fingers. Let's do that. Sunday to
Okay.
Monday night. Sunday night to Monday night is 1. Monday night to Tuesday night is 2. Tuesday night to Wednesday night is 3. Wednesday night to Thursday night is 4. Thursday night to Friday night is 5. Friday night to Saturday night is 6. Saturday night to Sunday night is 7. Sunday night to Monday night is 8.
there your
Yeah.
eight
So
is.
There you
we're
Niggas
go.
have do
saying
it all the
eight.
time.
What? Right. It seems like what we're saying is 9. It would only be 9 if you lit again at sundown, but you're not lighting again at sundown.
Yeah,
It
Monday night
ends
is
because
over.
a new day starts at sundown. So I understand what it sounds like, but you're not lighting up on Monday. You won't light up. Your light should still be shining from Sunday night, if that makes sense.
I'm
Because
asking them now.
because Monday night at sundown, you have to blow them all out. It's over. See, y'all, because where we get mixed up at is that right now we should be running it non-stop for 8 days, but we blow them out, light them up again the next day. But just think, if you never relit them, you will blow them out Monday night at sundown. Because if you let it stay lit past sundown, then and you go into that, then you're going into the ninth day, like you're saying,
Ron
uh,
Lemons.
uh,
He said, "Okay, that makes sense." He got it now.
okay, all right. Zed was pretty good counting on them fingers, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
Well,
It's
that
He
was
just say it's
sure
ele-
knew what I
elementary.
was counting.
We had to take it back to elementary.
Yes, sir. That's
Yes,
it.
sir.
It ain't hard. That ain't no new math.
Yeah.
No, that's just milk.
Right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
We're going Jude, chapter
Yes,
1
Yeah.
through
sir.
7.
Jude. Going to Jude, verse 6 and 7. And y'all, what we're explaining is how it can be taught that it was physical. Go ahead.
The book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set
Uh-oh.
forth for an example, suffering in the vengeance of eternal fire.
So hold it. Now jump on down to verse 14.
Verse 14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam,
How far is he
prophesies of
from
these
Adam?
things. The
The
seventh
seventh,
from Adam,
Okay. So go ahead, finish that out, Zed.
seventh generation.
prophesies of these things, saying, Behold, the Elohim cometh with 10,000 of his saints
And
to execute.
you can hold there. Why I went to the seventh from Adam is because a lot of people say, well, if Cain was Adam's son, this would have said Enoch, the eighth from Adam. So y'all, we have to go now to Genesis We're going to Genesis 4.
5.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, I'm
4.
sorry, Elisha. Five and
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Genesis 5 and 5. And then we'll double back on the Cain and Genesis 126. I just want to do the count in Genesis 5 and 5. And y'all,
Genesis.
if we when we look at it, you're gonna see and you count what it says.
You want 4 and 5 or just 5?
You can go forward if you need to.
Okay.
And then jump to
Genesis.
go ahead.
No, we're gonna run it down
Genesis.
to 18, Elisha.
Run it down to 21 because he talked about Enoch and being the 7th from Adam. So
Yep.
you
He
got to
said
count
right there.
those
Yep.
generations.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
to
we
count
count
those
them
7
all.
generations.
Yeah, we count
Well,
absolutely, Elisha. Absolutely.
why don't we just start that from 1, man?
He
Okay,
got
you
some
go
of
ahead.
me in him. He got some of me in him.
Well, look, the reason I don't want to go 1 yet is because of how we're gonna explain it on the spiritual side.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm trying to keep it of
I got you.
everything that was
Of
used
the
to make it
flesh.
physical. I don't want to
Yeah.
run them
Okay.
together yet.
Yeah. So we'll start at 4.
And the reason being now we're talking about if Cain was Adam's son, how many numbers should it be? Should Jude say Enoch was the 7th from Adam? So y'all actually, if we read backwards from 19 back up to 5, you know, it would I don't know if well go ahead, read down from 5, Genesis 5 and 5.
Okay. Genesis chapter 5, verse 5. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died.
So
And
hold on,
Seth
Zeb.
lived.
So I want y'all to understand this 900 years have gone by, and we finna do a count. Or we gonna count all the children in 900 years, or did he only have 7 or 8 in 900 years? So the book of Jasher, the books of Adam and Eve tell you that Adam and Eve had way more sons than that. But go ahead.
Verse 6. And Seth lived 105 years and begot Enos.
So we
And
got
Seth
Seth,
lived.
1. So Zeb, I want you to count when you're reading about who then beget somebody. I want you to count them. Okay, so
Now, one,
Seth
you
So
count them.
Seth
Hold your
would be
finger.
1.
Seth
Yeah,
would
there
be
you go.
1.
There you go.
Okay.
There you
It's too
go.
much.
And Seth lived and begot Enos 7 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 900 and begot Canaan.
Hold on. So Seth
So now
begot
we at 5.
Enos.
No, in 90 years.
Hold on. Now what I'm doing is it ain't about how long they live. What
My
I'm
bad.
doing
It's
is
It's
90.
counting the
about
You're right.
the
offspring.
sons.
You're right.
Adam begot Seth. Seth begot Enos. So we up to 2
Enos
sons
begot
of
Canaan.
Adam right here. Go ahead.
Right.
And Enos lived 90 years and begot Canaan.
So Canaan is number 3.
And Enos lived after he begot Canaan 815 years and
Mm.
begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years and begot Mahalalel.
So
Now,
Mahalalel
hallelujah.
is number 4 because he came
Mm-hmm.
from Canaan. Go ahead.
And Canaan lived and begot Mahalalel 840 years and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years and begot Jared.
That's 5.
Just 5.
Okay. And Mahalalel lived after he begot Jared 830 years and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And
Mm.
Jared lived 100 62 years, and he begot Enoch.
Who did he
That's
beget?
Enoch.
That's
Okay.
6.
So if we hold there, there's 6. Now Jude said that he was the 7th from
7.
Adam, Enoch. So there's 2 sons missing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's missing?
Cain and Abel.
Absolutely, bro. So let's go back now to get some understanding. No, we're going to keep moving forward because we want to leave that question hanging out there, y'all. So we got 6, not 7. Right?
Right.
Okay, so we're going to leave that question hanging just for right now. We're just going through what's used. So 1 John 3 and 11.
Eleven and 12.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Okay. 1 John chapter 3, verse 11. Give people a chance to get there.
Okay.
Okay. 1 John
Tell you
chapter 3,
what,
verse.
Elijah, if we start at 8, we'll get some better understanding. But go ahead and start at 8.
Yeah, I was gonna start at 8, but I ain't know if you want to leave that for the
Yeah.
spiritual side.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll get 2 and 1 on that one. Go ahead.
Okay. 1 John chapter 3, verse 8. He that committed sin is of the devil, for the devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of Yahweh was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. Whosoever is born of Yahweh doth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin, because he is born of Yahweh. In this the children of Yahweh are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whoso doeth not righteousness is not of Yahweh, neither he that loveth not his brother. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we should love one another, not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous.
So right here, what we
Okay.
have is it could be taught that the reason Cain was evil is because he was from that wicked one
Right.
right here. So, like I say, is this physical or spiritual? But we'll get back to it. So right here, we see that there was only 6 that the book of Jude said was from Adam, but we got 2 sons missing. We got Cain and Abel missing, which 2 plus 6 make what?
8.
Yep.
Okay, so if he's the 7th, let's go back to now Genesis 4 and 25. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong one. I'm still in John. Okay, yeah, 4 and 25. Yes, sir. 4 and 25. 4 and 25, y'all. I tell you what, I actually started 23 because I want to comment on something too.
Mm-hmm.
Who got it?
It's on you, Elijah. It's me.
You.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 23. It reads, And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For Yahweh said she hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Most High.
So we see Adam knew his wife again, and she bare Seth, and it was just to replace Abel. So now when we put Abel in the line that Jude talking about, there's technically 7 that came from Adam, but there's still a problem because let's start back up in Genesis 4 and 1.
I got a question too, Daniel, when you got a chance.
Okay, well let's run this 4 and 1 real quick.
Okay.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she
Uh-huh.
conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Most High.
Go
And
ahead,
she
verse 2.
again, verse 2, and she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And
So
in
y'all,
process of,
no, you can hold that. That's all I wanted because what's happening here, we got Cain and Abel being born. So the term was that what we used to say because we thought or we saying it was a physical act, which it can be a physical act. It was called
Mhm,
superfetation.
Right.
So superfetation, too bad if you can't pull that up, means that a woman can get pregnant by 2 separate men and have 2 children by 2 separate men. So a lot of people say the reason it was 7 is because Abel was Adam's son and Cain was the devil's son. But we're going to have one more problem when we flip over and we're going to see that that's not possible for it to happen.
Well, we already got a problem in Genesis 4 and 1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But you hear some that say no because we're not understanding it like we don't understand that Adam wasn't standing right there when Satan was talking to Eve, even though the script say, and she gave then to her husband Adam. The only problem with that too is that if Adam watched somebody mack his woman, he in trouble already. If he was
We
oh,
got
standing
yeah,
right
major
there,
problems. We got
because
major problems.
yeah, he got major problem, y'all. But this doctrine is called the Sherry Shrine doctrine. If y'all look that up, y'all understand it perfect. But y'all, we setting it up, y'all, so y'all can understand how we believed it and how many believe it to this day. But we got to stay true to the word.
Superfetation, Daniel, you want the definition?
Yes, superfetation.
Superfetation is the extreme rare phenomenon where a woman gets pregnant a second time while already pregnant, resulting in 2 fetuses at different developing stages because they were conceived weeks apart in separate menstrual cycles.
So what we have to understand now is it's saying now did she have 2 seeds in her womb because Cain was clearly the older if they were twins. But y'all, as we read some more documentation, you'll see that Cain was older than Abel, and it just talked about the pregnancy seeds, just and then she had another one, and then she had another. It say and again, but if they were twins back to back, like that, then we would see more talk of like Esau and Jacob as far as
I
being
was
in the
just getting
womb
ready to say
together.
that. That was what I was
It was
going to
only
say because if that was the case, then it would also state that these was 2 different nations.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
absolutely, absolutely, or two different bloodlines, and then we
Right.
will have a genealogy for Cain.
Right.
But but so y'all, that was the why we wanted to bring that forth right there is to try to get some understanding of why it still said he's the seventh from Adam, and what we're talking about is godly men from the line of Adam was only seven, even though Cain was Adam's son. There's only seven who we consider godly men out of all the sons and daughters that they had. It's only a stretch of seven of them, and it's only counting them from Enoch back. Even though Methuselah lived so long and he had to take the dirt nap, the message was only given to these seven brothers to give to everybody else. So yes, superfetation will make you think that as well, but the Bible is not leaning toward superfetation. And also, y'all, we used to use the proviangelon of James, that where Adam said, "It has happened to me in like manner." When I
Mm-hmm.
was gone, the serpent found Eve alone, and when I was Joseph say, when I was gone, the serpent came and found Mary alone. So the same thing has happened unto me. The only problem is some fine lines in that writing.
Who?
Joseph never touched Mary before
Mary.
Christ was born.
Right.
What did you say
So
the name
it's
was? That doctrine was Daniel.
like there's only certain things that he was
Provincialized.
talking about. He's just saying what he's letting you know, that Adam wasn't standing right there when the devil
Right.
crept up. Just
Right.
like he wasn't there when the devil crept up. So Adam would have never said that having two sons, Cain is my son. But now, since we went over the thoughts and the process of Cain, of being born of Satan, we want to get back to what everybody else used, the final straw that they say this puts the nail in the coffin. Genesis 1:26.
You know what you say the
And
name of that
this
doctrine
y'all
was,
was,
Daniel?
huh?
What you say the name of that doctrine
Pro,
was again?
pro,
The Sherry
Provincialized.
Shrine Doctrine.
Oh,
That's what I thought you
Sherry
said.
Shrine. Y'all look that up and y'all gonna see this, but there's gonna always be a roadblock no matter how you do it, unless you manipulate the scriptures to make it work. And y'all, we gonna show you where the manipulation part comes in. And y'all, look, if you can make a case for it, all we saying, we just talking about how you gonna get past the roadblocks to keep it 100% physical versus spiritual. And we're gonna get to the spiritual side here very shortly. What we got, y'all?
So I got a lonely servant here saying, so basically Satan has no biological children save for the Antichrist.
Hold on. We want to just keep going through, bro. I know your spirit is waxing hot, but
And
just hold on a second.
then they saying even though angels or spirits like the watchers, they can conceive hybrids. Satan has no biological children or Nephilim, right?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. And all of those are good questions. We like the way the wheels are turning today. So let's get right back to it, and we'll answer both those questions with what we're about to read. Go ahead.
Genesis
Genesis.
chapter 1, 1 and 26.
Yeah.
yep.
Yes, sir.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And Yahweh said, let us make man in our image, after our
Mm-hmm.
likeness, and them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Yahweh created man in his own image, and
Mm.
in the image of Yahweh created he him, male and female created he them. And Yahweh blessed them. And Yahweh said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over the living things that moveth upon the earth. And
So hold
Yahweh
right
said,
there. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Read on out.
and Yahweh said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is
Uh
upon the
oh.
face of the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life. I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. And Yahweh saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day.
So now, if we look at this as this man born on the sixth day is a whole nother generation. We ain't talking about Adam and Eve. It's taught that this is a whole nother species of people, right? Because when we get into Genesis 2 and 5, uh, 2 and 5 on down, we see now it
It wasn't
looks
a
like
man.
Adam is being made.
Right.
So to one, it seemed like we had a group of people on Genesis 1:26, and then on Genesis 2 and 5, now we get the creation of Adam. Well, we're gonna clear that up too. The only problem with what's going on here with this man in Genesis 1:26 is he's been given commandments, he's been given power and authority over everything. So he
Dominion.
has to be of a level of intelligence to have such a responsibility. So if
Yes.
you think he's some kind of Neanderthal, where did he get all of this intelligence from and don't know what fire is? Not only that, but he's been blessed by God, and you're saying the Most High blessed him to be a caveman?
Not only that, hold on, Daniel. Let me make this point as well, because they all also go to 26 or 27 and say this was a hermaphrodite,
Yeah.
male and female created,
Boy,
who
they
had
going that
both
far
sex.
now?
Oh, they've been doing that because they don't understand it's about the summary of creation and not
Yeah.
about a male in the same body.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
they
Kevin,
sir,
don't.
bro.
That's why Christ said this is a great mystery.
Yeah.
To a non-believer, it's a great mystery how two become one.
Yeah. Now we still on Cain's side, y'all. We want y'all to understand everything we provide you with now is what they say on the physical. Right here. So if we look at the man on Genesis 1:26, it says it was good. So we know he cannot be a beast based on the commandments he was given, based on the authority and given a certain diet, right?
Right.
And then not only that, but he's blessed. So one would have to think in their mind, if I keep going with this as a beast, then I'm saying God made a man in his image, then God must be a beast.
Right.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? You have to come to grips with that in your mind. How can it be somebody that don't know what fire is? How then can they then know how to name and call on animals and be blessed, and you in control of an entire planet Earth? This, I
Not
mean,
only
they say,
that,
and it was good.
and then if they say from the perspective of, because you're here, especially Egyptologists or Pan Africanism say that God is both male and female.
Yeah. No, that's what they like to do,
Well,
Lisha.
that's what I'm saying. That's a doctrine that's out there that you
Yeah.
have, according to these scripts, you can easily disprove, because then why would he make commandments specifically for male and female?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would there be
So,
a separation of the two to be able to distinguish between the two?
yes, sir.
Kevin Jenkins got a question. He said,
Yes, sir. Kevin Jenkins.
when Cain was born, Eve had multiple conceptions and had a girl. Is this right?
Well, according to
Yes.
the books of Adam and Eve, that's what
And
multiple conception
Jasher.
means: twinning, twins. So not only this, but it said pain during childbirth. So it was double the pain for the act. So then one would again think it's physical because she's got a menstrual cycle going. Not only that,
Right.
it's doing pain for childbirth, so it's sexual related, physically related. But we're gonna clear all that up on the spiritual side. But as we tighten up and close out on the physical side,
It's
we're gonna run Cain's marriage to
yes.
Genesis 1:26 as it's taught. Y'all understand? So y'all, we're gonna get right back to now uh Genesis 4:13. And this is after Cain had killed Abel and he's on the run. And a lot of people reading this because they're reading it straight through. They're not doing precept upon precept, line upon line from Genesis to Revelation because y'all, this go back. Revelation talks about the war in heaven before the man was even created in Genesis 1:26. So it's
That's right.
all intertwined between Genesis and Revelation.
Yes.
Who got it? Genesis 4:13. And this is the
Genesis
Most
chapter
High punishing Cain for running, for doing what he did. I tell you what. No, we'll come back to that on the good side. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 1 verse 13. And
4.
Cain said unto the Most High, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall
Mm.
come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And the Most High said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Most
Mm.
High set a mark upon Cain, lest any find him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Most High, and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And
Mm.
he and he and he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch
Hold
was
it right there,
born
Zeb.
Irad.
Hold on right there, Zeb. So right here we got Cain getting run out, and he finds a wife in the land of Nod. So everybody quick to ask, well, if Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel were the only first people on the earth, where did he get his wife from? So that's another thing to make you believe in two creations. See, but the difference is it still has to get into this people he found had to know the commandments of the Lord. Because that's what it said in Genesis 1:26, if you using that.
Right.
So now the final deal is right here. Let's go to Genesis 4:23. Because something happens to Cain. Four
And
and
truth be
23,
told,
y'all. Yeah, and then we're
15
gonna be
years
through.
ago, 15 years ago when you broke this down on the tape that RL had, that's what moved me back to St. Louis.
Oh, did it, bro? All praises, yes, sir.
Genesis
Hallelujah.
chapter 4, Genesis chapter 4, verse 23. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold.
So right
And
here,
Adam,
Lamech, Cain's grandson, slayed him. He said, I wounded a man to my own hurt. It was called self-defense. When you get into the book of
Jasher
Jubilees
chapter
and
2.
Jasher, you'll see that Lamech was going blind. So he fired an arrow and killed his granddaddy Cain. So let's look at this point. We ain't nowhere near the flood yet, and Cain is dead. So the question now, before we get on the spiritual side, is just to ask everybody out there, how did Cain descendants get on the ark. Because if they didn't get on the ark, it's impossible for them to be on this side of the flood. Any birth seed of Satan. That makes sense. So
Yes,
either
Very
they
sir.
much.
got on the ark, either they had to get on the ark as two beasts, because the unclean came on as two female and two male. So either there was two female wives of Cain and two males of Cain that got on the ark as beasts, if you're going to make them Neanderthal or cavemen. Y'all understand? It's the only way you can get them on the ark, because Cain is dead right here. And then when we get into the spiritual side, things will clear up a bit. Too bad we got any questions or concerns before we get into the spiritual side of this.
No, sir, we good.
Okay, so we just gonna backtrack a few things. So we got Cain dying before the flood. And not only this, let's clear up some things right off. If in Genesis 6 the angels had sex with the daughters of Adam and they got them pregnant, Cain was not, Cain would have had to been a giant.
Would
Right.
have had to been a
And
nephew.
not only that,
Right,
Cain
right.
would have got the same punishment
That's right.
of the watchers. Now,
Right.
the only way his spirit could have came over, it would have had to been just coming over as an evil spirit of Cain, like the watchers did that the book of Enoch speak of in the 14th and 15th chapter. There would have to be an evil spirit of Cain that came across the ark. But we don't have Cain being listed as a giant.
Right.
Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Right.
What would be the difference from between Satan having sex and then the fallen angels doing things too, and they didn't, and he ain't produced, unless it was spiritual
Right.
that he got with her. Now, the final straw we used to use is Proverbs 30 and 20, and then we're gonna get on the spiritual side. Run that final flesh side, Proverbs 30 and 20. Who got it?
I'll get it.
We got to turn to it first, Daniel.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. And y'all look, we're not claiming to know everything, but what we're saying is you have to be with what you can prove and don't guess and leave your back door open, so to speak.
Because the scripts say, prove all things. If it's
All
according to
things.
Christ, Christ exposed everything. He revealed all things. So
That's right.
if you go, if it's in the words of Elohim, then it can be proven.
That's right.
Yeah.
Make full proof of that ministry.
And y'all, what we want y'all to understand is we ain't saying that what y'all saying is wrong. We just saying there's a border. It's like Trump is right there and ain't letting you come across the border into this land, if y'all understand what I'm saying. You can't get on the ark. That's all we asking. No matter how you say it, you got to get them on that ark. You got to, because there's only 8 people on that ark. 4 men
Right.
and 4 women. So you got to get him on, if he's a physical individual, on that ark. Or you got to make him a giant and say his spirit crossed over, like the giants of the watchers, the offspring. Go ahead. What else you got? Run that 30 and 20.
Proverbs chapter 30, verse.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I did too. My bad. I was jumping the gun.
It's okay.
But don't fight over it, y'all. It's plenty enough for all y'all.
Nah,
Watch out, that turnip be rolled up in there.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
never do that. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 20.
Yeah.
Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness.
Hold it right there, Elisha. So we got a woman committing adultery, and she wiping her mouth and say, I have done no wickedness. So a woman has 2 mouths, one south of the belly button as well, because they call that a mouth as well. And it has some same things mentioned in the mouth above the navel. You know, certain things we ain't going to go into right now, but everybody understands what we're talking about.
I wondered how you were going to work that one out.
Yeah,
I mean, but
that's another one. Uh huh.
they both receive it,
Yes, sir.
or they both receive its seed.
That's right.
Yes, sir. So we have to see, is this talking physical or spiritual? So now we done with the physical side, and if everybody, unless somebody out there got one more question about physical, if not, we go into the spiritual. What you got out there too, by as if they got anything spiritual, I mean fleshly, they want to add to the scripts we already brought forth.
Not that I've seen. We ain't got nothing in the chat.
Okay, so now let's get spiritual. So if we look at Genesis 1 and 26 of that first man, and
Let's
then
go
we look
back.
at Genesis chapter 2, when you look at it spiritually, chapter 2 is an overview of chapter 1.
That's it.
Yep.
And how we know, let's get right to it. Genesis 5 and 1.
Well, no, first, Dan, go back to Genesis 2. Because, you know, in Genesis 1:26, he made man and male and female. But in
Okay,
2, he
absolutely,
said
absolutely. And we
there
got
was
the
not a
rear.
man to till the ground.
Yes, sir. So y'all, yeah, we want go ahead and run it, Elisha. What verse you want to start at?
Well, just
One.
hit 1 and
Start at verse
26 and 20.
7, 2 and 7.
Right, 2 and 7. I'm just saying,
Oh, 1 and
reiterate that 1 and
26.
26 and 27 first, then jump
Yeah,
over to 2 and 7.
absolutely, absolutely, bro, absolutely.
And then 2 and 7.
No, he wants you to read 1 and
One Genesis
20,
1, 26 and
just
27
And
first.
27, Elisha.
27.
Just run 27. Just
Okay.
27, 127. Go ahead.
Okay. So Yahweh created man in his own image. In the image of Yahweh created he him. Male and female created he them.
That's good. So if you look at that, he created a man and a woman for the people that believe that there's a whole nother group of people out there on the sixth day. They were created one man, one woman at that time. Now, when we get over to Genesis 2 and 7, what you're speaking of, Elisha, go ahead.
He says, and the Lord Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground. Hold on. No, let me go back up.
Okay.
Start at 4. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Most High Elohim made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Most High Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. Hold on. In 1 and
Right.
26, he created man, male and female.
Yeah.
In 2, he's saying there is no man.
Okay. Now look at this, Elisha, too. And he gave them charge over the whole world in 126, didn't he?
Exactly.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so now he says, and there was not a man to till the ground. So ask yourself, what happened to the man in 126 and 7?
Yes, sir.
So we have to answer that first, if
Yes,
we
sir.
believe that. Verse 6, but there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground, and the Most High Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Most High Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Is this the
Mm.
same man in 126 and 7? Or is this a whole different man?
Yes, sir. That's the question.
So now let's read on. And out of the ground made the Most High Elohim to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge and good of good and evil. Stop right there. I want to point out something that I pointed out before in another class we did. If you look at where it says the Most High Elohim had caused every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. Then there's a semicolon. Then there's a tree of life and a tree of knowledge and good and evil. So all these different trees with a semicolon in between these two is a difference between these type of trees.
Yeah.
If you go back to your early education about what a semicolon is, it means it refers to the thing previous, however, it's different.
Right.
And let me say this,
There's a
Lisha,
difference.
too. If it's physical, then it has to be a physical fruit like an apple or a pear or an orange or a fig.
That can,
If it's physical,
that can emit
Right.
knowledge.
yeah.
There has to be a
Hey,
tree
look,
with a fruit that emits knowledge.
As soon as you bite into
or
it.
whatever.
Right.
let me read this precept right quick. It's Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. And the Lord Yahweh said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore, the
So-
Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken.
So right now, y'all, we still locked in that people were saying, well, you ain't said nothing. It still say it sounds like two different people. Even if I
Right.
did believe it was a caveman, well, right now I'm believing it was a righteous man, and it's still the people that Enoch went to.
Okay, so let's keep reading forward. Because
Yeah.
see, this is because right now what is looking like two totally different creations.
Yes, sir.
Because now in one, you have trees, vegetation, plants, and animals, and all this stuff created. Now in chapter 2, you have the same things being recreated.
Yeah.
If that's the
So it seems. So it seems.
So it's but let's read it out. Because the Most High is truth is absolute. It don't need our support. It
Don't
answers
need it.
its own self.
What let me say, Elijah, when you read it out, what they gonna really understand is that before he formed man, you're gonna see the trees and everything still formed first, like it was on the third day in Genesis 1. It's still gonna be the same thing. The trees and plants are created before Adam.
That's
Right.
Lonely
So,
Servant got a
It's
question.
still lining up like it's supposed to. That's why I'm saying people will say, well, that 2 is totally different. No, 2 is an overview of 1.
That's right.
Right.
Because the Bible
Because
always does it. It mentions a subject
First and
and
second
then it
witness.
explains it in the next chapter.
First and second witness.
right,
That's
because see this
consistency with the Bible.
right, and this is what I was going to get to is that as we read on, what happened to the first creation in 1 and 26, 27?
Right. If we saying there was not a man to till the ground, where he at?
What
Well, you know
happened to
where
that
he at?
first creation? If we go
Yeah.
from Genesis 2, it just goes right into genealogy of mankind. What happened
Yeah.
to that first creation?
And not only that, Elisha, he been on the earth for 1,000 years. Because
Yeah.
he was born on the 6th day, and Adam, if you saying he was created on the 7th day. So this man, if you use dual creation, he's 1,000 years older than Adam.
So what happened to him? Where is he today?
That's what we talking, Elisha. So now let's get to the spiritual side of the matter. Genesis 5 and 1.
Lonely Servant got a question. They asked, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil are metaphors, aren't they?
We're going to get right to that, Ark. We're going to run that real quick to let you know what they really ate spiritually. We about to run that soon as we lock down on this 5 and 1, because now we're talking about genealogies, and that's what Elijah is asking. Where is the genealogy of this individual? Where is he at? Even if he mixed with Cain, where are they at today? And how
Right.
will they fit in on Judgment Day? Because every nation on this earth will show up at Judgment Day. We just need to know when this individual gonna show up at Judgment Day. That if it was a dual creation,
Right.
where is he at in the line of judgment? Go ahead. Let's
And
read this
not only
5
that,
and 1.
and just keep
Go
in
ahead,
mind,
Elisha.
just keep in mind as we reading all these things, that first creation, if it is a dual creation, that first creation was made in the image of Elohim.
Well, ain't no way to get around that.
So if it's a dual creation and he made a righteous creation, then another creation, then this chapter 5 is going to really break it down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get
It's
it
going to make a
because it's
big
talking
difference.
about generations. And when it talks about generations, just like we went through to get the seventh from Adam, we're
Right.
starting in the same 5, but we just gonna start at verse 1 to get what generations are on earth. Let's get it.
And that chapter 1 is very important, so don't forget this
Yes,
verse
sir.
1.
Yes, sir.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 5. I'm going to start the reading in verse 1. And it reads, "This is the book of the generations of Adam, in the day that Yahweh created man. In the likeness of Yah made he him,
Hold it right
male
there.
and..."
Hold it right there, Ariel. Now, this
Yes,
the
sir.
problem in the likeness that he made God. Did we read in chapter 2 that he ever said Adam was in the likeness of God? I'm just reading it like it say because it just say he formed them, but did he put them in the
From the dust of the
likeness of
ground.
God? Go ahead.
Verse 2, "Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created.
Hold it right
And
there
Uh-oh.
Adam..."
again.
Uh-oh,
Mhm.
Hold
slow
it right
down.
there again. Go ahead, Elisha. Go ahead, express yourself, Elisha. Go ahead, express yourself,
So
Elisha.
if we look at these first two sentences, these first two verses, in the verse 1, it says, this is the book of the generations of Adam.
Right.
If we look at dual creation, Adam was created in chapter 2.
Yeah,
He was formed from the dust of the ground. But the one
right.
created in chapter 1 was made in his image.
Yeah,
Right.
All right. So, and it says, God created man in the likeness of God made he him. That refers to chapter 126.
yes, sir.
If
So
you
Yep.
how
go
did
to
he create? Yeah,
verse 2, and in 27, he said he made them male and female. Created
yeah,
he them, right?
yes, sir.
Well, this verse 2 of this chapter 5, male and female created he them.
And go ahead, read the rest.
Right.
And blessed them and called their name Adam
Their name.
in the day that they were created.
Now,
Right.
Elisha, if
So
we
that's
just
why I
take
say
that, go
the
ahead,
truth is
Elisha.
absolute. He's just reiterating the whole Genesis 1 and chapter 2.
And look, it's still, if that first man, if you still want to believe in dual creation, then that first man or the wife of Enoch was called Adam too. The only problem, we ain't
Exactly.
got that genealogy, what happened to it, where it is today, the genealogy of Cain. We it has to be another group if you're still going with dual creation, or it was another created male and female. But this is saying Adam and Eve was the one he was talking about was created male and female.
Exactly. He breaks it down. So now, if we read a little further, we're going to see what the generation of Adam really is and who's counted as the likeness of Elohim,
Yes, sir.
who's counted in that bloodline.
Yes, sir.
So read on, bro.
Verse 3, "And Adam lived 130 years, and begot a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth.
So
And the
now we
days
see
of..."
another image created, which is the same
Right.
image Adam was created in, which was the image of Elohim,
And look,
right?
he say he called his name Seth. But what happened to Abel
Where's Abel and
and
Cain?
Cain? Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 4. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And
So
all
hold
the
right there.
days
Go ahead.
and all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And
So
Seth
right after,
lived.
if you keep on reading that, we'll get back into the entire genealogy of the seven from Adam, because Seth
Right.
is replacing Abel. And we're
That's
not
it.
talking about everybody's son. Like, look, y'all got brothers, right? The light is came through only one individual out of our families to give to the other family members. And then when the light turn on with them, then they give it to the other family members. But he only choosing one of a family to get the light started,
And and two of a household. That's where you
or
get
two
the
of a
Right.
promise.
household.
That's right.
So if you understand, the seven from Adam are just the ones that keep the light in check and make sure the message never dies out.
Right.
So let's run this nail in the coffin. Second Ezra 6. We're gonna start about verse 47.
And then, Dan, I want to hit this Adam and Eve because Eve breaks it down from her own mouth what happened and how she was deceived.
I tell you what, started yeah, like Second Ezra 6. We're gonna pick it up verse 53. Second Ezra 6, 53.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the Apocrypha in the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6, and we'll start the reading in verse 53 as soon as I get there.
Yes, sir.
And it reads, Upon the sixth day thou gavest commandment unto the earth, that before thee it should bring forth beast, cattle, and creeping things. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Yahweh, because thou madest the world for our sakes. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Yahweh, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance in with the world? How long shall this endure?
So we see, y'all, clearly that it states on the sixth day, Adam was the first man born. So,
Uh-huh.
y'all, what we're saying is this is the route we have to go for the spiritual side to keep what we can prove, because we can't prove of no other existence for people that don't have a genealogy. And like Isaiah went earlier, he said we can't be lured to fables of endless genealogy. That's why they don't have they got a start date, but they don't have an ending day for that man that they say there was another Christ. They don't have judgment day for him either. If that does exist, y'all still got a problem of getting them on the ark. There's no other way he could have got on the ark unless you call him a beast or some kind of Neanderthal. The only problem was that you're saying the Most High made a Neanderthal in his image and gave him power over the world. It don't make sense, y'all. And y'all, we just have to come to the conclusion when you understand how the Bible is written, because it was supposed to be written right to left, not left to right. And I'm only speaking of how it was read. So Genesis 1 is telling you the entire creation. Genesis 2 is just breaking it down to where you can understand each individual event, because trees and vegetables both were created in both accounts, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, before any man or woman was created. So it's lining up perfectly. It's just going into detail for you. So it helps you out better. The second Ezra laying on the line. Now, y'all got to come up with the genealogy for if nobody else is on the first. You got to come up with that group. You got to name them. You got to name how they got on the ark, and you got to name where they this to this day, because you're saying that their father was a physical man. Not only do you know people are saying that the devil walked into the garden and he was a physical individual like we are today, breathing just like we are. It was not a supernatural entity, but a man. Regardless of however you say it, he still didn't get on that ark. No matter how we slice it, only 8 got on that ark. I don't care how you twist it. Only 8 got on that ark, not 10. So y'all just now let's run it from what they really ate. Give me Hosea 10, 12, and 13. And then we're going to go to Matthew 7, and then we're going to go to Matthew 12, so y'all get the understanding of what the trees were. And what did they really eat? What did they really eat? It's going to click in spiritually on y'all. Hosea 10,
Yeah.
12, and 13. Well, y'all flipping pages like y'all flipping since Genesis. Who was that?
That's me.
Isaiah. But he flipping them pages hard.
Yeah, it's right
I
before
don't want
Joel.
to. I don't want to go too far.
Yeah, Hosea chapter 10, verse 12 and 13. Let's run it.
Good on me.
Oh,
Whoever got it. I think
is
it's
it still
Zeb
on
the
me?
way he flipped it.
It's on Zeb.
Hosea
Hold on,
chapter
Lysa.
10, verse.
You said you wanted to hit something before we go to this.
No. I want to, when we close out, I just want to close out with that Adam and Eve, where Eve is breaking down to her children at Adam's bedside what happened in the garden.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Hosea chapter
So you don't
10, verse 12.
yes, sir.
Sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in
Do
mercy,
what?
reap in mercy. Break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Most High, till he come and rain righteousness upon you. Ye have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity, ye have eaten the fruit of lies,
What
because
have you
thou
eaten,
didst
Zeb?
the fruit of lies, because
Uh-huh.
thou didst trust in thy way, in the
So
multitude of thy mighty men.
so right here we see that he's talking to the children of Israel that you have eaten the fruit of lies. That's
Mm-hmm.
what you ate. Fruit is a doctrine. Fruit is nourishment. And when you compare it, it says it's lies. Now let's get to it, Matthew, to explain this Hosea. Matthew 7 and 15, and then we're going to Matthew 12, 31.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them.
Now let's run
Not
Matthew 12. We're going to run 32. I tell you what, run 31 through 34.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 31. Wherefore I say unto you, all manner of sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven unto men, but the blasphemy against the Holy Ghost shall not be forgiven unto men. And whosoever speaketh a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But whosoever speaketh against the Holy Ghost, it shall not be forgiven him, neither in this world, neither in the world to come. Either make the tree good and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and his fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruit. O generations of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
So
You want
right
to
there,
keep on?
y'all, once again, we see trees are being used as men, and the word fruit is in there, but it says a corrupt tree cannot bring forth good fruit. So just real quick, just run Genesis 4, 6, and 7. Real quick, somebody, Genesis 4, 6, and 7, because we're talking about if Satan is the tree and the tree of life was the Messiah, if that Satan was that tree and he got at Cain, this Genesis 4, 6, and 7 cannot happen. Go ahead. By what we just read. Go ahead. Run that Genesis 4, 6, and 7.
The
Genesis
book of
chapter 4.
Genesis.
Oh, go ahead.
You got it, Doc? The book of
Genesis
Genesis.
chapter. Go ahead. Hey, we have the
I'll get it,
reverb.
dog.
Go. Ready,
There's
go.
a
Genesis,
reverb.
the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 6. And the Most High said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
So right
And unto
here,
thee,
go ahead.
you want the rest? And
No,
unto
no,
thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
so once again, right here, we see that the Most High said, I will accept you, Cain, if you do right. Well, the Matthews we just read, and both of them said, good fruit cannot come from an evil tree. You
That's right.
cannot, if Cain is the devil's son, put him in the line of God, and say he can be blessed and you can do right. Good fruit cannot come from an evil tree. If Cain was Satan's son, he cannot, under no circumstances, be let in. Or you have to let the Antichrist in,
Right.
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 because he's the son of Satan, ain't he?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So good fruit cannot come from an evil tree. Cain would have never been accepted if he had been Satan's son. But he was
That's right.
Adam's son that just went rogue. He was the prodigal son, like Luke
Right.
15.
But
But
never
he
came
just
back.
got real crazy and just run off, and then God punished. And not only that, but the Most High said, if anybody touch Cain, vengeance will be on them. That's why his grandson said, vengeance is gonna be on me. If Cain got it for Abel, it's coming 7 times for me, because that's what God said. And he ain't saying that about the son of the devil. Because if Cain was his son and Satan is supernatural, then Cain should have been a giant, and also his offspring should not exist anymore, which they didn't get on the ark. But they didn't get on the ark because their line was cut off, just like the line of Sodom and Gomorrah was cut off. Just like all of certain lines get cut off and never more to be. Like Saul was supposed to cut off was Amalek or whoever he was, Agag, cut off his entire line so he
Agag,
don't exist
Agagite.
anymore. But what we're telling y'all have to get around all these if you believe Satan was Cain's father to explain once why would God accept him and he won't forgive the devil. How you going to accept his son and won't forgive his father?
Because his son, he said his son is the son of perdition.
Yes. So now y'all, and we're going to tie the knot what kind of lets you understand that it's spiritual. Matthew 5:27-29, and then we'll back it up with Deuteronomy 23:10, because things can happen in the supernatural. Y'all, if y'all know anything about a pimp don't care about having physical contact with a woman. He says he has contact with this and intercourse with that.
He wants to be in the
And
head
get you
control.
to believe what he just telling you, because all pimps are whisperers, just like Satan is a whisperer. They whisper in your ear and they tell you things to make you believe a lie. They tell you, they pull you on the rooftop and show you the entire city and tell you every back seat of a car, every alley, every juke joint, every harlot tap room is your place. And here, take this mattress with you. And they whisper it
This
to
is
him.
all yours.
Ain't that what Satan did to Christ in Matthew?
Yes, sir.
4?
He said,
that's
I'll
what he
give you
tried to
all
do.
these.
Very same thing.
Took him to the highest pinnacle of earth
Yeah.
and showed
Yeah.
him all the kingdoms of the earth.
Yes, sir. So it was a pimp move in the garden, and it's still pimp move today, even with this so-called polygyny doctrine that's running around here. It's same pimp game. They just dressed up like what Matthew 12 say, vipers and serpents. It's still talking about trees, serpents, and the garden, ain't it? In Matthew 12.
Right, and
And it's the same language.
it's just like I always say. It's like I always say, brother. Women fall in love with what they hear.
Yeah.
Men fall in love with what they see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we know it was spiritual. And then people saying, well, how they know they was naked, didn't have no clothes on? Y'all, that was spiritual nakedness. That means you got shamed. It's like you sitting in the principal office and they call your parents. Your parents going to be shamed. You going to be even more ashamed. And it's called snatching the drawers off of you. But ain't nobody just went in and snatched them off like pull away, you know, them suits they have for basketball players, them pull away.
Them tearaway sweatsuits.
Yeah, tearaway jerseys and stuff. But
tear away the veil of your mind.
Yes, sir.
Revealing your consciousness.
That's what they're doing. But real quick, one verse, hit Exodus 32:25. Just real quick, one of y'all, real quick, so we understand what nakedness was.
Yeah.
And y'all, this is right after receiving the 10 Commandments. So it's the same thing. Satan run the same playbook. Bring them lies and then get an orgy in your mental going and hope it turns physical. What that say real quick?
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 25. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies. Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the most high side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him.
So we can see right there that Aaron made them naked, because when we bag it up, you see he made the golden calf for them. So the drawers was snatched after them, but you see what it is, folly, and it says they rose up to play. Satan always come after salvation. Just like Adam them got it, he breathed on them and made them immortal. Satan came. When they got off the ark, all of those 8 people on there were saved. And he got at Noah through the first sin, getting high on your own supply. He got drunk and Cain made a move on his woman, which technically was his mother. So he became the first MF on this side of the flood. Because Canaan is the offspring of Ham. And Noah woke up and said, I know what he done to me. So, y'all, it's clear what's taking place even at Mount Sinai. Just come through the Red Sea, already Satan to muddy them up, ain't he? Y'all, and this is what we're talking about right after the second coming. When we see who the Antichrist is, he tell us, but he say, I'm going to muddy y'all up again. Y'all ain't getting away with this. I'm going to muddy you up again, just like he did Ananias and Sapphira in the 5th chapter of Acts. Who has tempted you to lie to the Holy Spirit? That was your property. You didn't have to give that up. So, y'all, now, if we don't have no questions or concerns on why we believe it spiritually, that Cain influenced Adam and Eve's son named Cain and had him run amok.
I do have
We're not saying that the physical case can't be made. We just say we ain't made it to get them on the ark. And if you ain't on the ark and you didn't get on this side of the flood, then everything else you saying will come outside of the Bible. It won't be between Genesis and Revelation, nor will it be in any of the lost books that keep the law of the Bible. You ain't going to get it. You're going to have to make up outside sources. You may even stretch your hand enough to say evolution was involved with Genesis 1:26. And y'all know that's crazy because he ain't made a caveman and give him that power.
No, I ain't got no question on that, Dan, but I do got a question in the chat that's off topic.
We got to run them to that Deuteronomy 23 to show supernatural intercourse. Go ahead.
Elijah asks, got it right here on screen. He says, being that the Messiah was a root out of dry ground, and he was the only righteous one on earth at the time, did the Father count time against man at that time? I ask that because, let me see, reading Matthew, it only specifies the day, but not necessarily the year of Jubilee.
Well, why he was a root out of dry ground is that roots don't grow out of dry ground. So the question was saying why he's a root out of dry ground, because there was nothing being tilled at that point. I want you to understand what I'm saying. There was no clear understanding on who the Messiah would be, because in Matthew 16 and Matthew 17, he asked Peter, who do men say I am? Some say Jeremiah. Some say you John the Baptist, which is crazy because John was only 6 months old. Right. Some say you this. He said, who do you say I am? He said, you the Son of God. So at that time, superstition was running like Acts 17 chapter, like Mars Hill. Everybody had a doctrine. So it's a root out of dry ground. So Christ came in where it wasn't being taught anymore of who the Messiah would be. That's why he had to go to Israel first and say, look, the prophecy is fulfilled. Here I am. Y'all better get on while you can get on. Then that's the root, because it's way before any of this.
Well, I think he was really asking Daniel. He said, did the Father count time against man at that time? He said he asked that because when you read Matthew, it only specifies the day, but not necessarily the year of Jubilee.
Well, I'm still not understanding what he mean about counting time.
Yeah, I'm missing that also.
See, a root out of dry ground, like I say, that was the prophecy of Isaiah 53. That's where it's coming from. Isaiah 53rd chapter. So it has to line up with what's taking place when he hit the earth. Is the doctrine of Messiah being talked about? No, because the Pharisees had it on lock with
Right.
strange doctrine, like Mark 7 say. Sitting in
Because
Moses' seat but just blowing commandments of men, white as sepulchres. That's what
right.
was going on, y'all.
Because during the days of Isaiah and Jeremiah or the older prophets, Christ hadn't stepped on the scene in the flesh yet.
Yeah.
So they were teaching Messiah and they hadn't witnessed the Messiah. So a lot of them were putting the prophets to death over this prophecy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So when
sir.
they
And
were hearing the prophecy of Messiah, they like, wait a minute, you talking about a kingdom to come to do away with the kingdom of the Pharisees and the Sadducees? And so you'll look in the book of Jeremiah, they was going to put Jeremiah to death for speaking in the name of Christ.
yes, sir. Yeah. They did. Stephen, Paul was on that. They was killing them,
All of them.
y'all. If you meant it,
Isaiah,
and they said,
Isaiah and all the lesser, so-called lesser prophets, Hosea, Amos, Gedaliah, Edo, all these prophets fled to the mountains and removed themselves from civilization because
yes,
they were
sir.
being threatened. Their lives were being threatened by the common Jew because of the prophecies of Messiah.
That's right. Because remember when the Messiah showed up, y'all, Jerusalem was tore up. I
Yeah.
mean, you had them priests in there, but they wasn't given the law like they should have been, nor were they teaching that the Messiah was coming. They were
They
teaching
was
that
hunted.
they Messiah and the righteous one, just like these camps during the day, just like Free Case Ray rode the horse in on the Passover saying he the Messiah, just like General your hog belly say he's the third in all of heaven and command. Well, if it's three up there already, that makes you four, or you getting rid of one of them.
Hey, hit that Isaiah 28 real quick. Just real quick, Isaiah 28 and 8.
Go
Because
ahead,
this
run
is
it,
gonna
Elisha, while you there. Run it while you there, Elisha.
okay, because this is gonna help brother out about that root and dry ground.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 8, he says, I'm gonna start at 6. And for a spirit of judgment to him that sitteth in judgment, for strength to them that turn the battle to the gate. But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink and are out of the way. Let me start at verse 1. So then I'll jump down so you'll get an understanding. Woe to the crown, this Isaiah 28 and 1. Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valleys of them that are overcome with wine. So he's talking about Ephraim, who was the head tribe of Israel when they split. And so they were the ones who were supposed to carry the ways of righteousness through them 10 tribes. But they was full of wine and foul judgment. But let me go on down. Verse 7. But they have also erred through wine and through strong drink or out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine and they are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision, they stumble in judgment. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and are drawn from the breast. For
Yes,
precept
sir.
must be upon precept and precept upon precept line. So what he's saying is, to break down, to paraphrase, at that particular time, the knowledge of Christ, the spirit of judgment and righteousness was no longer in the earth.
Yeah.
So Isaiah was teaching the coming of Messiah, which was going to be a root, which was going to be knowledge of righteousness coming out of ground with no knowledge of righteousness. So he's saying at this particular time, all tables of righteousness, of knowledge, is full of vomit. There's no knowledge of Messiah and cleanliness and godliness in the earth right now. So there's going to
Absolutely.
come a root out of dry ground, out of this table of vomit, which is going
Absolutely.
to extend knowledge to the four corners of the earth.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So, and that's what it mean, bro. If that's what you asking, if you asking about time, 1,000 years, I'm not sure what you mean. And when you bringing in the Jubilee, if that could be explained a little bit more, if you're talking about time, but we still under a 24-hour clock here until a new heaven and a new earth come. So,
I was kind of
uh,
explaining to the brother in the chat. We're gonna try to go ahead and move forward because I'm not understanding this question and what he's asking. He's saying right here, as in a destruction as in years towards destruction, and then right here he says or judgment, and then right here he's saying I'm saying it because time was introduced because of sin.
time was introduced because of sin.
Where
That's
does
what
that
it's.
come from?
Or you mean on the 24-hour clock? The 24-hour clock came in when Adam and them sinned and was cast out of the garden. Then we went under a 24-hour clock. Artificial light, because remember, the first 3 days there was light. And
And
the
then
No
sun and the
moon and
moon
no
and
and
then
the
he's saying
stars
right
were
here,
created in the
or
fourth day.
I'm asking that because time was introduced because of sin, and the Messiah was righteous one on earth. So did the Most High count that time against man?
I still don't
I
understand
don't
what
get it.
you mean
What you mean
about
by
that.
that?
How did time cause sin? I'm trying to put the two together, that time introduced sin. I'm trying to make that link.
Right,
So, if you will, brother, if you could explain it just a little bit better. If not, if you will, call in on the radio show tomorrow and ask that
right.
same question, because I'm not understanding when you're linking time and those two things together. Born
Where
Messiah.
you
Now, if
reading
you're
that at? Where you getting that
asking,
from?
oh, hold on, look, unless he's asking, did BC and AD come in at that time? That where we start counting time, Christ's time from the root of the dry ground, or when did we say BC and AD? No, that started when he was a baby on this earth. That it started counting from his birth is when he was
right.
born, but it's a 2 to 4 year gap that nobody could pin down when the actual year was. They say it's either 2 BC or 4 BC, the times that when he was born, around that time that a lot of things happened, the death and different things of the innocence. They say that was whatever the time was, 2 BC or some around that time that they were killed. Yes, Christ, the count started when he was born. I'm talking about on this physical side, but his count started back when it said, "Let us make man in our image." That was in eternity.
Yes,
That
he
was in.
dies. Yes, he dies. The first year is 1 AD. What was it? What was is while he was on Earth? Or I guess what was the year while he was on Earth?
Well, if it's his birth, you have to go with whatever that was AD, and then everything before that is BC, like Adam them and Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. I'm talking about that's only before Christ until you get up to his birth, and then it start AD after his birth. That means we count every day after that, but it's the same 24-hour clock. I want you to understand. The clock switched from
Okay,
timelessness
I
of a
see.
thousand years to that.
That was sorry about that.
Go ahead. What you were saying, Tuba?
No, I was just saying I see what he's saying now. He's saying what was that time? Like you got before Christ, 8 BC, then you got, what I'm saying, AD. So
After.
what was that, what I'm saying? So he was saying what does that time before between that, I guess.
It's 24-hour clock if that's what you mean.
Right. I got
I'm not understanding, but everything has to break down to the time Christ was born to 5,500 years, because that was the prophecy in Enoch and all the book of Adam and Eve. It would be 5,000 years before Christ would be born in the physical flesh. He was the tree of life in the garden, but
Right.
he already existed. He's the root and the offspring of
right.
David.
Right.
So he said, "Give me back the glory before the world was." So he's part of let us make man. So if you're asking what that time was of him being in the garden, that started 6 to 12,000 years ago when he set foot in the Garden of Eden. But he was still supernatural at that point, the tree of life. And then you had the other tree it didn't say he was the tree of good and evil, because people think Satan was created to be good and evil, or that yin and yang stuff. No, it says the tree that had the knowledge of
Right.
good and evil, because he was thrown out. So he had knowledge of both sides, sin and won't repent. So that's what he
Right.
pretty much taught Eve, because the first thing was to be fruitful and multiply. He said, if I get you to multiply spiritually unrighteously, is way better than in the physical, because the physical may not work.
Right.
Spiritually, you can always be fruitful and multiply in your mind,
Because
because if you got ED in the flesh, you still can go up here. And that's why we go into the supernatural, Matthew 5:27-29. Then we run Deuteronomy 23:10. And y'all, and then we'll run just the ships of Tarshish and we'll close out. Matthew
I still want to
5.
hit that Adam and Eve, Dan.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll make sure we hit that, Lice.
You said Matthew 5?
Yeah, 27-29. And then we hit Deuteronomy 23:10.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see that he's talking supernatural here. See, you know, because I rapper with that Obed ben Israel, and he say he run this because he say he had a non-messianic, or those that don't want to believe in the spiritual side of this. Tomorrow, tell me, how can a man, what the Messiah say here, lust after a woman? Where that in the law? Where he running to him, and we're gonna go ahead and get it. It's in the law right there. Don't covet after another man's wife. Y'all understand? You do that up here. I wish she was mine. That's in the law, ain't it?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Hey, what's that Deuteronomy you called out, Ock?
23:10.
23:10.
Yeah, but Irish Grower, we'll get to it, bro. I mean, if you call in, we can chop it up a little bit better, but we understand what you're saying.
No, he said thank you. You answered this question.
Okay. Because right now the earth is only 6,000 to 12,000 years old. After the 6-day creation, it was 6,000 years, and then where we at today. Go ahead, bro.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 27.
Yeah.
You have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
And where is it at?
In the
Yeah.
chest, inward parts.
In his heart, in his mind, y'all. He already had his way with her. He looking at it. You can't see. He could be smiling in them robes, in them wide robes, but in his mental game, he's saying what he'll do to her. Now, if he goes to sleep with that on his mind, Deuteronomy 23:10 gonna happen. Go ahead, bro. Run that.
You got it, Ariel?
Yeah, I got it.
Two by, if you
The book,
will, pull up nocturnal emission for me. Go ahead.
the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 10. It reads, if there be among you any man that is not clean by reason of uncleanness that chanceth him by night,
That
then
chances him by what?
by night,
Uh-huh.
then shall he go abroad out of the camp. He shall not come within the camp, but it shall be, when evening cometh on, he shall wash himself with water, and when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again.
So right here we see Leviticus. If y'all run it, run 15 and 16 of Leviticus real quick, because this saying is happening supernaturally to him. Too bad. Did you Google that nocturnal emission?
Yes, I did. I'm trying to put
What
that
it
script.
say?
What was that script you just gave?
Deuteronomy 23:10, and then I'm going Leviticus 15 and 16. Run that.
All right. All right. I'm trying to pull it up now. Give me 1 minute.
But go ahead, somebody run Leviticus 15 and 16. Because this
Leviticus.
telling you, even in your mental game, at night, if you explode, you still got to wash yourself like it was an actual event. What does that say right there? Y'all read that. Nocturnal.
Nocturnal emission, commonly known as a wet dream, is the involuntary ejaculation of semen in males or vaginal lubrication, yeah, and organism in females during sleep, often accompanied by erotic dreams, and is
What is it
normally
accompanied by?
erotic dreams, and,
Uh-huh.
and is a normal psychological event, especially common during puberty due to hormonal changes.
So you can let loose with your mental game. Ain't no friction going on. There's no rubbing. There's no nothing. There's no clothes burning. It's just in your mental game that's strong. And if you thinking about somebody you shouldn't, and that mental game, it go off in your dream, it's the same exact thing because the law is the same exact thing when it comes out
Hey,
of you. Run that Leviticus 15 and 16 real quick.
I
Go
want to
ahead,
say
Lisa.
something real quick in response to that. If you notice, it said, especially during puberty.
Yeah, yeah,
See, this is how Satan wants to get in right at the age of accountability.
absolutely, Elisha. When he's responsible for the law now, his parent, this off his parents now, because he's
Yes.
able to recreate life.
Yes.
So now he's accountable for cleaning himself now. But read
Right.
that
Right.
And
Leviticus
so
15, 16. Go ahead, Elisha.
so Satan is trying, this is how he's trying to get into the mindset of the youth. He's trying to get them at the age of accountability because before then they're innocent. They have a free pass into the kingdom. If
Yeah,
they're if they are tampered with before the age of accountability in their
yes, sir.
innocence, they got a free pass.
Yes,
But
sir.
after the age of accountability, if he can get his seed mentally,
Yeah.
he'd have done his work.
Boy, he
Boy, and then
attacked
you know,
the child. He don't care who it is. When puberty strike, he's trying to get you to release so that you don't know the law, how to clean yourself up.
It's
And
just
yeah,
not
'cause
like
only
you know
that,
he working
not
with a
only
high
that,
trigger.
huh?
He working with a high trigger.
Yes, sir. He working with a hard trigger. Yes, sir. And y'all think about this too, because when that happens, if that's where the term succubus and incubus come in. They're demonic spirits that play with you in your sleep.
Mm.
A suck you will bust
Oh,
happens to a man, and an
Oh,
incubus to a woman.
in her, you buck. Mm.
Yeah, yeah, in her you but
Oh
absolutely
boy.
oh, cut it
Boy.
out, too bad.
Boy.
Oh
I
boy.
hey.
yo, so y'all we're talking about supernatural, y'all, in the spirit. That's why he say if you lust after a woman in your heart or your mental game, what he say, gird the loins where?
Oh, your
of
Of
your
mind.
your
mind.
mind.
In your mind. If you
Yeah.
gird them up here, they don't go below your navel.
Right.
You
That's
cut
right.
it off up here. You wake up out of dream. Do you know the Lord will wake you up out of dream if you in that? The problem is men will try to get back in the dream
Most High said,
and
I
go
am
right
the
back
way,
to the
the gate.
wickedness. He'll stop it before you get out of your clothes. But it's so lifelike you trying to get back in there when you wake up. Now it's the sin because it'll never be the actual look again. It's just like you'll be looking at the looking through a window at yourself committing sin right now after you found a way to escape in your dream. The phone ring, 3 o'clock, somebody knock at the door, ain't nobody there. You got woke up. There was an escape made for you not to explode in your sleep. But run that
Right.
Leviticus 15, 16 through 18.
Leviticus
Oh,
15, verse 16.
Yeah.
And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all of his flesh in water and be
Yes, sir.
unclean until the evening. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water and be unclean until the evening. The woman also with whom man shall lie with, seed of copulation. They shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean unto the even.
Yes, sir. So we see here that the rules is for both of them when that events happen to them, when they come to age of accountability. Now they're required by the law to follow the law at this point, because at this point, you don't know, you can't let them out of your sight, because at this point they can bring a child into the world. If
Right.
a wolf coming by, a wolf don't care. It's many men out there right now thinking about that, saying, man, I was a fabric burner.
Hmm.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Not good enough.
But look, y'all, so y'all, what we're saying is this is a supernatural thing. You could think this out, and that's what the Messiah was bringing to the high priest. He say, if you stop it up here, sin don't have a chance to get right here. Do that make sense to the flesh?
Yeah.
Oh
But see,
yeah.
men try to manipulate the law and say, as long as you don't catch me, I ain't caught, because y'all can't tell me what I'm thinking. Yes, we can, because it tells us the rules what'll happen if you try to play that game with the Messiah. Your conscience gonna bear witness of you. Your conscience will bear witness of you, because you'll start hunting it down. You'll start falling behind it. And then the OJs will be singing about you.
Mm.
Backstabber at my door while I'm at work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he can't stop, y'all. And if y'all don't understand what I'm talking about, it's like the testament of Reuben. When you read the first chapter, Reuben say that spirit was on him so bad. He say, I could not go to sleep until I did the dirty deed. It was on my mind 24/7.
Yep.
My daddy's mama, my daddy's wife, which is my mama, my little brother's mother. I did the
His
dirty deed with
stepmother.
her. So y'all, now we got that, y'all. If they got any more questions, y'all, just tell them to log them down too by. But what we want to do is just run real now. Her second question was, what are the ships of Tarshish? So explaining this, y'all, in a nutshell, Tarshish was the son of Japhet, offspring Japheth. So he the one established the first land getting off the ark was Javan, established the land of Tarsus. And what the ships of Tarshish is, and it's over in the Turkey area. What that is it's a port that make like what we would say carnival cruises. They were known to have ships to travel. See, what
It was a
these
major
doctrines
port.
now teach is that we actually gonna get on like slave ships like we came here. Well,
It
that
was
took
actually
almost 2 months to get across here. 2 weeks
it was a
minimum.
major trading port,
It was a
Dan.
major trading port. Exactly, Elijah. So what we want to help you understand is that all Tarshish mean is a vehicle that can move a large amount of people quickly and safely. Well, we can't go back on the ship because you see what Trump doing to them drug boats, don't you?
blowing them out the
What would he
water,
do if we head back to the homeland in the Mayflower?
blow us out the water.
Blow us out the water. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So those ships don't apply to today like back then when you say horses and chariots and you see the Messiah coming with horses and chariots, you know it ain't talking about the horses and chariots back in the cowboy days. It's just still using the terminology. Like that Hellcat is 700 horses under the hood. Make that equivalent, you would have to have a chariot and then have actual 7 horses hooked to it to run as fast as this Hellcat. They should run and they should be a tie at the finish line. But the
Here,
most
I'm gonna
highest
read
chariots,
Tarshish.
or no, you got it in Wikipedia?
I got it on the Strong's Tarshish.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Strong's H8659 Tarshish or Tarshish. That's how it's pronounced. Tarshish or Tarshish, yellow jasper, son of Javan, a Benjamite son of Bilhan, one of the wise men close to King Ahasuerus of Persia. Number 4, a city of the Phoenicians in the distant part of the Mediterranean Sea, which the prophet Jonah was trying to flee.
Yes, sir.
Site unknown, but perhaps in Cyprus or Spain. A city somewhere near and accessible to the Red Sea, to which ships constructed of Ezon Geber on the Atlantic Gulf of the Red Sea were sailed.
So we see here the ships of Tarshish, y'all. When we get through, it's just a vehicle to move a lot of people. Like Isaiah say, when they moving in this ship, it's almost look like an airplane because they say we can see they got a bunch of windows on it. They flying like this, like the tribe of Dan and 1980 and 85 were brought back on what we call ships of Tarshish, which was 747s. But that was in 1989. Now, right now, y'all, we're at nuclear holocaust. And we got drones up. We can't travel that same way, y'all, because it's world-ending power now that we didn't have before, that they'll turn loose if they see us coming back home. So, y'all, we won't be in that mode that could get blew out of the waters like them drug boats. We have to be in the Lord's supernatural vessel. But I just want to show real quick, y'all, we're going to close out. Just want to run these three on the man side of ships of Tarshish, and then we'll run the Lord side of the ships, what he say going to pick us up. And then you'll understand the difference in when he sent us in ships in Deuteronomy 28 and 68, he sent us in ships. Those were like the Mayflower, the Santa Maria. Y'all know all them names they had that they brought us over here in those boats. I didn't name them right, Ariel.
You know you didn't.
Oh, okay. But and then we'll see how the Lord traveled, and then we'll see what ships have to pick us up. Because remember, he said, lest he shorten the days, there will be no flesh saved. So the Antichrist is going to let loose, y'all. The Antichrist ain't going to let us just. And which one of us going to get on a carnival cruise and talking about going all the way back to the homeland, and you can't even make it to Puerto Rico and back before they fighting and killing on the carnival cruise line? They almost have shut that down because of the electric slide. They don't even allow them to pop them fans no more. So 1 Kings 10:22. Then 1 Kings 22:48. And then Jonah 1 and 3. And we're going to show how these vessels, that's all it means, a ship of Tarshish. All it means is a large vessel that can move a lot of people. It's just like Osiris that them camps are trying to force it that it's America. But Osiris don't give no location. It says it's an uninhabited. No humans have ever dwelt in that country. That's where they went to. That could be all over planet Earth. It's places in the four corners that a man ain't never set foot on. So they forced Osiris to be America, but that second Ezra don't say Osiris was America. That's added. And you can only find it in the Jewish encyclopedia that forces it out to say America, but it's not in the scripture. It's just a place of uninhabited people. You just give it that name. Oh, you talking about Osiris? They went to Osiris. Oh, you talking about the ships of Tarshish? Oh, that's how they get back. Ship of Tarshish, y'all. Oh, that was a carnival cruise at least that big, an ocean liner. Go ahead, run this real quick. 1 Kings 10:22.
What's on me?
Yep.
First Kings chapter 10, verse 22. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Haran. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes, and peacocks.
So you see that Solomon had the ships of Tarshish bringing him all of the gold and stuff, big ocean line vessels from Tarshish. It's from that area. Everybody was just getting on ships, and they say, hey, look, we need a boat ride, y'all, because y'all have to understand the boat ride was the number one ride to get across the world. There was no airplanes, y'all. So ships of Tarshish was the only thing that moved moved everything. Just like today, y'all, them what do they call them? Them barges that move all
Yeah.
the grain and stuff. It's in the same concept, y'all, but for the Lord, when he gathers us, because it has to be supernatural, y'all, because the killing that would take place, they'll kill us on a Greyhound bus. They'll kill us at the airport waiting to get on a 747. So he has to get us out the way or block them off completely from attacking us while we on the move. But go ahead, y'all run it up 1 Kings 22, 48 and 49.
First Kings chapter 22,
All praises,
verse
brother Eric Coy.
First Kings chapter 22, verse 48.
What it say?
Jehoshaphat, Jehoshaphat made ships of Tarshish to go to Ophir for gold, but they went not, for the ships were broken at Ezon Geber. Then said Ahiah, the son of Ahab, unto Jehoshaphat, let the servants go with thy servants in the ships. But Jehoshaphat would not.
So that was talking about a time when Jehoshaphat was taking over and they were saying, put all of the servants on a ship of Tarshish. Again, it just means Tarshish only means large vessel that can move a large body of people. That's as simple as it means, and it's used throughout the Bible. Just like Osiris is through, but it's no particular place. Last one concerning man movement, Jonah chapter 1, verse 3. And Jonah was on the run from the Most High, and he tried to escape. Remember, y'all, the only thing we had close to our airplane was ships at the time to move you to the other side of the world. Now, y'all, we got Lear jets, we got supersonic jets. They got jets that can get to London in 5 hours now. That on a regular 747 will take you 19 hours to get there. It take 19 hours to get to Hawaii. But on them supersonic planes, they can get there like 7 or 8 hours. You're talking about flying 1,500 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, run that Jonah.
All right, the book of Jonah, chapter 1 and verse 3. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Most High, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it, to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Most High.
So Tarshish was an actual location in Turkey, but they were the manufacturers of, if we would say the Carnival Cruise Line. They manufactured all of the ships. Y'all understand what we're saying? And a lot of people boarded ships from Tarshish and got away. So now we see that we won't be able to go back like that because of the nuclear holocaust. So now we have to see how the Most High gonna deliver us if they let loose a nuclear bomb, the Antichrist, right before the Messiah come. When he just say, "I'm just gonna destroy planet Earth," then. So let's run it real quick. Exodus 13 and 17 through 22. We're gonna run these, y'all. We're gonna close out. So, y'all, once again, we ain't saying that everybody else is wrong about the Cain situation. We're just saying, show us how you gonna get them on the ark, and show us why Cain wouldn't be a giant if this is happening. Those are the roadblocks for us that makes us go 100% spiritual, because we can prove that. We're not gonna get into endless genealogies. But go ahead, run this, y'all, how the Most High protect us in the time of danger, y'all. And that's what we're talking about. Because if we're talking about getting in ships and getting out of here, it ain't the ship we think it is. It ain't the Carnival Cruise Liner. Exodus 13, 17 through 22. Who got it?
The book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse 17. And it came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, that Yahweh led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For Yah said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. But Yah led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, Yah will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. And the Most High went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in the pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night, from before the people.
So you see at that point, he just had the ship hovering over us, between us and the Egyptians, and it was showing the light. But that was our protection to help us walk through. And back it up with chapter 14, verse 19 and 20. And we can see it was the Messiah leading us out.
My
That's
bad. What you
it.
say? Where you say? My bad. I was reading something else.
Exodus 14, 19 and 20.
Exodus chapter 14, verse 19. And the angel of Yahweh, which went before the camp of Israel, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them, and it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night.
So we see once again, Exodus both 13 and 14 is explaining that there was a supernatural event blocking the way, just like how the Pacific lies and the Atlantic won't meet.
That's
That
right.
barrier there, that protection there, and that's how he protects us. But we're going to run a couple more of the ships of Tarshish of the Lord, so to speak, because a lot of people is questioning that. Run that Psalm 68 and 17, because what he calls, he said, they're clouds to me, or they're chariots, but I call them clouds because they're coming from the heavens, so to speak, not out of the waters, not off of land. These are supernatural ships. Well, go ahead and run that Psalm 68 and 17.
Psalms
Then
chapter
run that Acts
68.
1 and 9.
Psalms chapter 68, verse 17.
Yeah.
The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000 and thousands of angels. The Elohim is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place.
See, like in Sinai, like Mount Sinai, it's telling you the chariots of the Lord, and that's what the nations is doing today. AI want us to run from y'all because they keep telling us over and over it's going to be an alien invasion. They want you to think it's some from another species, y'all.
Well,
You know
they
what I'm
get that.
saying?
War of the Worlds.
Well,
War of
just
the
like
worlds,
that,
but
like
go
you
ahead,
say,
Lasha.
they have no imagination. So this whole image of alien invasion and alien and spaceships comes from Ezekiel chapter 3.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir. So that's why they look just like that. And if
Mm.
you remember, Independence Day
Yes,
is
sir.
perfect if y'all want to see them trying to do this Exodus 13 and 14. When that ship finally busts through that cloud, you see fire enfolding itself around that
Yeah.
spaceship, y'all. And then Independence Day 2, whenever Will Smith so-called a plane, the spaceship crashed, look at the beast that he punched in the head. It's just like Ezekiel 1 or Ezekiel 4, like you're speaking of the beast that drives the ship. And the same thing is in Revelation 4th chapter of the beast that drives the ship. That's the thing Will Smith so-called hit in the jaw and knocked it out. Y'all understand? They're reading straight from the Bible. They're just running it like they want to run it, so you'll be scared of it.
Right.
Right.
Just like the movie The Sign with Mel Gibson, when the boy had the baseball bat and some water and he got rid of the aliens. You know, like they stayed in water and Babe Ruth's back, home run back.
Right.
But if you see when he was peeping through the door under that and saw the feet of them, they were calves' feet. Just like in Revelations it say the beast that drive the chariots got calves' feet. See, they want, Satan don't want you to be able never to say, I never saw it. And Hollywood gonna say, we put it right in front of y'all face because we copied from it.
Right.
Right.
Y'all just weren't paying attention. Y'all was entertained with the lust, the other parts of it, the lust parts we had going. Get back to that bubbly bathtub. To hell with that.
That's why he says we destroy it for lack of knowledge because we reject it.
That's right.
Run at Acts 1 and 9. And this is when the Messiah got carried up.
Still on me. Acts chapter 1, verse 9.
Yes, sir.
And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken
Back
up.
it up. One verse. Back it up one verse.
Acts chapter 1, verse 8. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost parts of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, while he beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall come in like manner as ye have seen him go into the heavens. Then returned they into Jerusalem from the mount called Olivet, which is from Jerusalem a Sabbath day's journey.
Now let's run that Zechariah 4, and we're going to see if that's a true statement or was that in prophecy that is going to take place at the Mount of Olives, the pick up and the drop off point. And we're going to understand now that's why he say, if you be in Judea, flee to the Mount of Olives. Run that Zechariah 14.
1 through 3.
Y'all read 1 through 3. Just pick it up at verse 4, Zeb.
Yeah, verse 4 is.
Start it at verse 4. No, I'll tell you what. Run it 1 through 8.
Which is Zechariah what?
14. And y'all, this is the feast, right preceding the Feast of Tabernacles.
You say 1 through 8?
Yes, sir.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Elohim go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west. And there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall be removed toward the north, and half of it toward the south. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountain, for the valley of the mountain shall reach unto Azal. Yeah, ye shall flee like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah king of Judah. And the Elohim my power shall come, and all the saints with thee. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear, nor dark, but it shall be one day which shall be known to the Most High, not day nor night, but it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. And it shall be in that day that living water shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. In summer and in winter shall it be.
Verse 9, run that verse 9.
Oh, and the Elohim shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one.
So we see that Acts 1 and 9 is backed up by the prophecy of Zechariah 14. As you see the Messiah go, and that was the Messiah that ascended. So Zechariah 14 is calling it the Messiah as well, coming back to the Mount of Olives. That mount gonna split in half if you in Jerusalem, because all nations gonna be gathered to war toward Jerusalem, firing nuclear weapons, drones, and everything. He said, go down into the mountain, and I'm gonna close that mountain up. All mountains are nuclear proof. And the reason being, he's not going to allow Satan to destroy his creation off the earth. That's the most highest power and omnipotence. If he decided to destroy everything, he will never give Satan the power to destroy mankind off the earth. So there's a supernatural event that's going to take place, because America can destroy the world 18 times, Russia 20 times, China can do it 15 or 16 times. North Korea got a bomb. So y'all understand, we can't be on no regular Carnival cruise liners talking about going back home. It's 40 million of us here. How many cruise liners that gonna take? And then everybody got to meet up in Florida to get on them. You can't get on that in the Mississippi River and head to Jerusalem. Can you?
Nope.
Well, if you make a left at East St. Louis and
But look, and y'all, we're going to run just these two more and we're going to close out.
Bro, I wanted to hit that Adam and Eve. I guess
we're going to go ahead, Elisha, run it. Go ahead, Elisha, run it now. Go ahead, Elisha, run it, because I want to run these three and close out.
Okay, bro.
Where you at, Elisha? Adam and Eve, where you at?
This is in the 54 book, complete book of the Apocrypha. So I'm in Adam and Eve, the book of Adam and Eve. I'm going to start in chapter 17. And it says, this is Eve talking to all her children around the deathbed of Adam.
Yes, sir.
She's explaining to them how they fell in the garden.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to just start at 16 and 17 and read down real quick. And instantly he hung himself.
What chapter you in, Elisha? Chapter 16?
I'm starting in chapter 17.
Okay.
But if you get the book, read the whole book, because it breaks it all down. Instantly he hung himself from the wall of paradise. And when the messengers ascended to worship Elohim, then Satan appeared in the form of a messenger and sang hymns like the messengers. So what Eve is saying is that there were messengers in the garden. When it says trees of life, these were messengers that were supposed to guard Adam and Eve and keep them, in their right minds.
Yeah.
And I bent over the wall and saw him like a messenger. But he says to me, are you Eve? And I said to him, I am. He said, what are you doing in paradise? And I said to him, God set us to guard and eat of it. The devil answered through the mouth of the serpent, "You do well, but you do not eat of every plant." And I said, "Yes, we eat of all save one only, which is in the midst of paradise, concerning which Yahweh charged us not to eat of it. For he said to us, on the day on which you eat of it, you will die the death." Then the serpent says to me, "May God live, but I am grieved on your account, for I would not have you ignorant. But arise, come here, listen to me, and eat." It says, "And eat and mind the value of the tree."
Mm.
But I said to him, "I fear lest God be angry with me, as he told us." And he says to me, "Do not fear, for as soon as you eat of it, you too will be as God, in that you will know good and evil. But God perceived this, that you would be like him. So he envied you and said, you will not eat of it, nor give heed to the plant, and you will see its great glory. Yet I fear to take of the fruit." And he says to me, "Come here, and I will give it you. Follow me." And I opened to him, and he walked a little way, then turned and said to me, "I have changed my mind, and
Oh.
I will not give you to eat until you swear to me to give also to your husband." And I said, what sort of oath will I swear to you? Yet what I know, I say to you, by the throne of the master and by the cherubim of the tree of life, I will
And the tree of
also
life.
give
Yes, sir.
I will also give to my husband to eat. And when he had received the oath from me, he went and poured on the fruit the poison of his wickedness, which
Oh.
is lust.
Which
Check it
is
out.
what? Which
Which
is
is
what?
lust, which is lust, the root and beginning of every sin. And he bent the
Uh-oh.
branch, and he bent the branch on the earth, and I took of the fruit and ate. And in that very hour, my eyes were opened, and immediately I knew that I was bare of the righteousness which I had been clothed on. And I wept and said to him, "Why have you done this to me, in that you have deprived me of the glory with which I was clothed?" But I also wept about the oath which I had sworn. But he descended from the tree and vanished. And I began to seek in my nakedness, in my part, for leaves to hide my shame. But I found none. For as soon as I had eaten, the leaves showered down from all the trees in my part, except the fig tree only. But I took the leaves from it and made myself a girdle from it, from that very same plant of which I had eaten. Remember the parable of the fig tree?
Yeah.
And he said, "From this forth, nothing should grow from this fig tree."
Yeah.
So now it's
So
making
yes, sir.
sense.
Powerful, Elisha. Powerful. Yes, sir.
So
I'm
check this
glad the
out. Let me
spirit
finish
moved
up.
you. I'm glad the spirit moved you to say, don't forget about that, bro, because that was powerful. Just added that as a second witness to Genesis 3
Let me just
of what
let me
really
finish
took
this out
place
real
in the
quick.
garden.
Smoke.
Go
It's
ahead.
smoke.
I'm gonna finish this out, and then we get on them last three. And I cried out in that very hour, "Adam, Adam, where are you? Rise up." So now you see Adam wasn't around.
Yes, sir.
So
He
she's
was in the
qualifying.
garden, but he wasn't near them.
Right. And if you read back, if you get the book and you read further in the early chapters, it shows you Adam was on one side of the garden and Eve was on the other side of the garden.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it says, "Adam, Adam, where are you? Rise up, come to me, and I will show you a great secret. But when your father came, I spoke to him words of transgression,
Yes,
which
sir.
have brought us down from my great glory. For when he came, I opened my mouth, and the devil was speaking. And I began to exhort him and said, Come here, my Lord Adam, listen to me and eat of the fruit of the tree of which God told us not to eat of, and you will be as a God." And your father answered and said, "I fear lest God be angry with me." And I said to him, Do not fear, for as soon as you have eaten, you will know good and evil. And speedily I persuaded him, and he ate, and immediately his eyes were open, and he too knew his nakedness. And to me, he says, "O wicked woman, what have I done to you that you have deprived me of the glory of Elohim?"
Yes, sir. Boy, that's powerful, Elisha. And see, and this is what we talk about. When you put it all together, you see that there was never a physical fruit that they ate, but spiritual fruit of wickedness and lies from the tree that had the knowledge of good and evil.
You
He was
told the
doing the
God
same
off
thing
there.
to Job. He was doing the same thing, going back and forth, just like in Job chapter 1 and chapter 2, what you just read here, that what he was capable of doing with Adam and Eve in paradise.
And
But
they
let's run
said,
these
you know,
last
it's
three, y'all. Powerful, Elisha.
just like he said, he masquerade as an angel of light. So Eve
Yes,
said
sir.
he was in paradise like one of the messengers singing hymns.
Yes, sir. And look, the Pharisees will want to come up on you just like that today. And you look at him and you
Yes,
think, oh, this is a man of God.
yes.
He's like what the scripts say, he's just a whited sepulcher. He's a
Yes.
graveyard waiting
Full
to
of
put
dead
you
men's
in there.
bones.
All right, y'all, we're going to run these last few. We're going to close out. 2 Peter 3. Then we're going to hit Revelation 21 and 1. But we have to explain something very important in 2 Peter 3, because the Most High said, I'm going to drop nuclear on the world. Not the world is going to drop nuclear on y'all. 2 Peter 3, start at verse 1. We'll run a couple, and then I want to just hit 1 Thessalonians 4, you know, how Chris insanity teaching church that we just going to be in the air with them, but don't explain how you going to get up in the air and what's going to pick you up right before the Antichrist unleash all hell on planet Earth. Go ahead, run that 2 Peter 3 and 1. Go ahead.
Second Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
What it say?
This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance, that ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before the holy prophets, and of the commandments of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished.
Hold it
But
right
the
there,
heavens
Isaiah.
and
Hold it right there, Isaiah. So at verse 6, it say that world perished. Now, either that's talking about Noah, or it's talking about Genesis 1 and 1 and 1 and 2, because it said the earth was standing out of the water and in the water. So there was a flood before Adam and Eve were ever formed. That's why the world was being recreated, because of the war in heaven with Satan. So this is what he's saying. When Satan got threw out, that destroyed what we would call planet Earth in that day, and it had to be restored again. Go ahead. What else to say?
verse 7. But the heavens and the earth which are now by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
Hold it right there.
But
So it's saying the heavens that we are under now, this what we're still under the same heavens that Adam was created
right,
under. And Noah is still under the same heavens after the flood because the flood didn't destroy the heavens or the earth. It only rained. It says, so we're still under the same heavens of Adam and Eve. We're not under the heavens of Genesis 1 and 1 and 1 and 2. That was destroyed. It got recreated for Adam, and we're still under it to this day. It says, but this same heaven that we're under right now is reserved to be bombarded with fire from heaven. Go ahead,
Right.
read some more.
Verse 8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Most High as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Yes, sir.
Seeing, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and goodliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Now hold right
Wherefore,
there. So
beloved,
why you can hold right there. So why we read that, y'all read the rest of that on out. It's just telling you at the second coming, he has to restore planet Earth because of all the nuclear warheads that's under the earth and in the sea. If we were to get the kingdom back right now, it would still be defiled. Because animals, the sea is full of plastic bottles and drugs. Trump blowing up drug boats. Where y'all think all that cocaine going? Them animals
the
down there
fish,
eating cocaine and
the fish
snorting
on dope,
heroin.
the fish on
Dolphins
dope.
high as hell underwater. Great
That's why
white
they call him
sharks
Flipper.
high as hell. What you say? What
I
you
say
say?
that's why they call him Flipper.
Yeah, yeah.
He flipping bird.
Hold on, y'all. These last two, y'all. Real quick, y'all. Real quick, y'all. These
Oh
last two.
boy.
1 Thessalonians 4:16. This is what the so-called Christianity teach that we gonna go up in the earth with them, but they ain't got a clue what's taking place on earth and why you gotta be delivered. Because if we ask them, you gonna be in the earth where? What you gonna be doing? But it's just like the Zechariah we said. The only way we gonna make it out of here, y'all, is through supernatural intervention of a chariot pick us up like it did Enoch and Elijah. It's the only way out of here with the nuclear bombs, y'all. Because if you think they're gonna let us go back home and set up kingdom and put them into slavery, you fooling yourself. You see what they doing to ISIS. And if you think that people teaching we gonna go back as a people and go clean up all them lands, we gonna do that. Have y'all seen what Gaza look like? Elisha, how many wagons you got to help clean up Gaza?
We ain't got enough
Nah,
rock.
Because all they gonna
Wagons
belong to
for
us.
one rock. That's too many rocks.
How long you gonna be hauling that? Boy, you be hauling rocks for 1,000 years. But first,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead, y'all. Run that Thessalonians 4:16 and 17.
There's no Thessalonians 4.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm in.
Hold
No,
on.
you might be right. Hold
Yeah,
on. Let me
Yeah, it
look.
is
I'm in
that Fourth
second.
Thessalonians
First
4.
Thessalonians
Yes,
4, I'm
First
right
sir.
here.
Thessalonians 4 it is.
I'm
Yes,
in
sir.
second Thessalonians, man. I'm in second, all
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sure, like,
First.
wait a minute. That's
Well,
the one in front
downshift
of the
to first.
second. Let's see. Where we at, man? 4 and 16. It's on you anyway, Elisha.
I was just waiting for you to get there.
I'm there.
Start at
He
verse
said ain't
13,
one.
Elisha.
How you gonna say
Elisha,
word
start at
ain't
verse
one at?
13. Elisha, start at
Okay.
verse 13
Alrighty.
through 18. Run it.
But I would not have you be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that you sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will Yahweh bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Most High, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Most High shall not prevent them which are asleep.
So right
For
here,
the
hold
Most
it
High,
right there. If y'all understand what we're talking about, we're talking about Daniel 12 and 12. The people that to the 1290 days, you will be put down by the Antichrist because you're going to wear a lot of us out. That's why we got to have hope in the resurrection. But those who make it through the tribulation, that 1,365 days, this is who it's talking about. But they can't proceed who already then gave their life to great mourners. You can't go before them and get picked up. So pick it up right there. Go ahead.
for the Most High himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Elohim,
Mm.
and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Most High in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord.
So, yo, that's what that means because after we get picked up, the nuclear water world restored, then we go home, y'all, and we get let off to deal with a newly created earth like Adam did. That's the whole goal to put it back like it was before Adam them sinned. So we're gonna close out with this last one, y'all. Isaiah 65, pick it up, verse 17, and run it out. Last one, y'all. Who got it? Don't be fighting over it.
I got one more to read though.
Well, since you got one more to read, go on and read.
1 Corinthians chapter
They get
15.
warmed
That's
up,
that's the
huh?
second witness. That's the second witness.
1
First Corinthians
Corinthians
15.
chapter 15,
About
verse 22.
20. Oh, okay. Going all the way back. All right.
For as in Adam all die,
That's
even
right.
so Christ shall all be made alive. But every man in his own order, Christ is the firstling, afterward they that are Christ at his coming. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom of Yahweh,
Mm.
even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign till he has put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death,
Mm.
for he has put
Powerful,
all
brother.
things under his feet. But when he saith all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is expected, which did put all things under him. When all
So
things
now
shall
run.
be subdued unto him, then shall the Son also himself be subject unto him that put all things under him, that Yahweh be made all in all.
So y'all see, even that it said the Messiah is still gonna be subject to the Father.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
that
right.
killed that doctrine of the three is one, that Trinity doctrine. But
Right.
run that Isaiah 65:17, run it down. We'll close out, y'all. Because it's something very important about here, because Satan didn't get his curse until this happened. So
That's right.
he never got his curse. Only Adam and Eve got theirs. He gets his at the end. Run it. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 17. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, and the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of the Most High, and their offspring with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion
Uh-oh.
shall eat, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat.
There it is.
They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Most High.
So y'all see that it says, then the dust shall be the serpent's meat, because it's going to be
Right.
the stubble of all the dead bodies that's burned up by the fire of the Most High. So that's his food. Y'all want to roll with him? Then y'all roll with him. Y'all going to be the dust that he's doing, because technically snakes don't eat dust. They taste dust
Right.
to see where they food at. So this clears up what happened in the garden, because then again, the lamb shall lay down with the wolf, and they shall eat straw like a bullock, like animals did in the beginning with Adam. They didn't eat each other. That sin what Adam did caused all these problems, y'all. And the Messiah have to come and fix it. The Melchizedek high priest that was in the heavens that said, let us make man.
That's
Us.
right.
Us. The three that bear record in heaven. So with that, y'all, we'll close out unless anybody got any questions or concerns, y'all. We are into starting tonight. What is this? Our fifth day,
No, 17.
seventh day.
This will be
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yes,
Yeah,
sir,
this starts
yes, sir.
7 day
Seventh
tonight.
day, going into the feast of dedication. Y'all light them up, but more importantly, light up the menorah in your temple. Light it up
That's
here where
right.
it is.
That's
Gets in
right.
control, and Satan won't be able to attack with the first sin that he's been attacking with y'all. Satan has not changed what he used to get Adam. It's spiritual fornication, like he got us in Ezekiel 16 when the Most High said he married us. He said, but we went and played the whore.
Right.
We didn't even learn from the God. We
Mm.
went and played. Not only this, he said a harlot get paid for her work. She at
Oh.
least get the light bill or refrigerator bought. Y'all,
Mm.
he said, y'all just spread them wide open for free.
Mm. Free mail.
Free mail. Yes,
Mm.
sir.
Mm. Mm.
Girl,
You're
but
out
we
of
became
order.
a free male, not a female.
Wow.
You're out of order.
Right.
We
Right.
got any questions, too, guys, before we
No,
close
sir.
out?
No, sir. They've been saying excellent lesson throughout the lesson.
And look, y'all, we ain't saying if you believe in a dual creation, we ain't saying you wrong. What we're saying is we're sticking to the side that we can prove, because there's a couple roadblocks in the physical that you can run 90% of them complete, or you can run 99% of that complete. But that 1% stop you, you have to stop teaching it till you can get that 1% in. So instead of trying to find that 1% of physical, y'all, we roll with the spiritual where we can get 100.
Yeah, because John 4:24 says Yahweh is a spirit, and all those that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
So ready to close on out of here?
Yes, sir.
Or y'all want some more?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We can go all night.
We
Boy,
know we can go
don't
all
play.
night. We know that.
Especially if you don't change your Solomon time. All right, family. We're going to get this closing prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission. And it's in the name of his only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior, and he's our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know him as Jesus the Christ, family. Long live the king.
Long live the
Long live the
king.
king.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 53rd chapter, it reads, "The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. Yahweh looked down from heaven upon the children of men, to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek Yah. Every one of them is gone back. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread? They have not called upon Yah. There were they in great fear, where no fear was. For Yah had scattered the bones of him that encampeth against thee. Thou hast put them to shame, because Yahweh hath despised them. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion, when Yah bringeth back the captivity of his people. Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Selah!
Selah.
All praises, y'all family. We love y'all. Stay on the feast of dedication. Like I say, I'll get y'all the information concerning Levi and his arrangements. If not, I'll definitely get you an address where you can send cards and letters. And I should have that information if y'all tune in to the radio show tomorrow. And also, I'll just give it to Tubai to put it out on God's Warrior 298.
Yes, sir.
And also, y'all don't forget the prayers. We got people here in STL, Brother Kevin Robinson and our Jeremiah Jura Wilson, that we need prayer for y'all to lock and load and help our family out, all over this planet. And y'all, if y'all got a shekel or two, y'all, we greatly appreciate it. And thank y'all so much. Shalom, one love.
Shalom. One
Shalom.
love, y'all.
Shalom, family.